license numbers.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Real Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
This is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
KQFN AM Tempe, K257 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM, K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Listen to Jim Rome and the Jungle, weekday mid-mornings on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, live from the Harman Solar Studios.
All right, people, settle down, because it's time
for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. Oh, it's the day after Cinco de Mayo. Hi, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender.
Oh, we better, turn the music down, too. Yeah.
Turn the I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, along with Randy White.
Hi.
We got Keon Rose in the control room.
Oh, yeah.
You're on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. Although my wife thinks I'm part of the problem right now. Because we were talking over the weekend. It was like, it's Cinco de Mayo. And she's like, my people don't really celebrate that. And I'm like, what do you mean your people? You're Spanish. You're not Mexican. She's like, oh, no. Listen, you don't understand. I got French. I've got Spanish. I have a little Mexican. And I said, no kidding. So you're Churopean. And that was the best thing. And I just kept calling her Churopean all weekend, and she didn't appreciate it.
I bet that worked out well for you.
Yeah, she did not appreciate that. Thought, I love a good churro. Who doesn't love a good churro? It's tasty and sweet. Just put a little filling in there. That's where the French part comes in. A nice cream sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like a little cream cheese inside the churro. Churopean. She's not talking to me right now.
No, I would imagine not.
She's talking to me through the dogs. Like she'd be like,
Tell
yeah,
tell Jeffrey
"Hey,
that yeah.
tell that idiot over there it's time to eat. Yeah. Like, I'm right here. Tell that idiot over there I don't care. Chirapia. Shut up. Anyway, so did you have a nice Cinco de Drinko? Did you get good liquored up?
Not me, no.
Keon,
No.
are you hungover?
I'm not hungover, but that's because I handled business Saturday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I was
Pre-game
hungover.
Cinco
Handle
de Mayo.
business
I was-
Saturday.
Yeah.
May
So
the
I
fourth
was-
be with you in your
Ah.
liquor bottle.
Yeah. So Cinco de Mayo was just hungover, but
I
then
just want you guys to know I probably won't be able to continue on the show today. I just got on just to let you know I probably won't be able to continue on the show today.
Yeah, well, you're full of crap.
I was getting some ice for my water here, and some bacon fell on my toe, and now I need to go fry it up and eat it.
No,
It's a little known fact that when
Why would
bacon falls
bacon-
out of your freezer, you have to eat it right away.
you
So
really
I
don't.
won't be on the show, right?
By the
I won't be
way,
on the show. No.
how dare you, sir?
What's that?
How dare you have frozen bacon? Why would you do that? You know
Well,
that when
I-
you thaw that out and you try to
Not-
cook it, it changes the molecular structure
Well,
of the
I-
bacon, making it inferior
I,
to what it would have been had you not
but-
frozen it.
I didn't. I was not the one who froze it. I'm just telling you, it fell out of the freezer onto my toe, and so I'm now I'm injured. And as per Baconology 101, I have to go and fry it up right now.
Untrue. The bacon can sit there
So,
and wait till after the show, so
what?
you're not going anywhere.
Excuse me.
Second, I'm still upset that you have bacon in your freezer. I don't care who put it in there; they're wrong.
Didn't I didn't do that
Because there's so
No.
many preservatives in the bacon already. It can sit in your refrigerator for months before you cook it and still be okay.
Well, I
That's
can't
the
answer that.
point
All
of
I know
bacon.
is I was reaching up to get some ice out of my refrigerator and was going to put it in my glass of water here.
And you try
And,
to just
and
peel the bacon,
bacon
slices off
bacon
after it's been
fell
frozen. It's
right
never the
out.
same.
Sort of like on an angle. My toes may be severed. I
So
don't know.
somebody,
check.
abomination of putting bacon in the freezer and they put it in unsafely.
Well, unsafely, I would agree with that, but I'm not going to say who may have done that.
Yeah, I'm
All
just
I know is
disappointed. I'm not
it
angry. I'm
fell
just
out
disappointed.
and may have severed 4 of my 5 toes.
My wife came in real fast. Like she was moving very quickly, and I thought, oh, she heard me call her Chirapia. And I thought she was going to try to hurt me. What? Okay. That's something I've
I
decided
heard the
to do.
door shut there. Wow.
That's
loudly.
something I've also been doing lately just for my own fun is to terrify the family and the dogs and anyone.
Just put bacon in the
guests.
freezer?
No, I run everywhere at like full speed. Like from the couch to the bathroom, I'll run full speed. Just and then because you think, if you see somebody run full speed just outside, you're like, oh, look, that guy's running. But if it's inside and you seem much faster when you do this,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it really scares the crap out of everybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just running
when you
full speed from from couch to bathroom,
Yeah,
from
I feel
kitchen
like-
table upstairs to
I feel
the
like you're trying to change the subject about my injury.
because you're not
I
leaving the show. For
might be bleeding out as we speak right now.
Yeah, I doubt that. Show us your toe.
Well, I can't
Why?
because it's down there.
Touch
And I
your toe
can't
and
put-
show me the
can't-
blood.
I can't
Touch your toe and show me the blood.
I can't.
Take a piece of paper, touch your
It's
toe,
down-
show me the
it's down.
blood.
No, I can't. It's
There's
down
no
there.
blood and you're full of crap. I believe that there was some bacon that might have touched your toe, hit your toe, but you're not bleeding.
According to Baconology 101.
No, there's no Baconology 101.
Hmm.
You should have never frozen it, so that's on you. Your request denied.
I don't think that's
Denied.
it's not very fair of you, but okay. I'll
I
say-
you
I'll
don't
say.
ruin National Beverage Day for me, Randy.
National Beverage Day. What?
Today is National Beverage Day. Give me a whiskey, would you?
Absolutely.
Give the beer over to Keon. I just need
Oh, yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah.
By the way, today is National Beverage Day, and for us, first thing we think, whiskey, beer. That's the beverage. But as far as everybody else, I guess somebody did a survey, and in 31 states, including Arizona, what do you think the top drink is?
Beer.
Margaritas.
Oh, come on.
Maybe that's just the top cocktail.
Potentially. But I have seen a lot of places that have margarita specials. Like that's
What's your top drink, kid?
My top drink.
But I wasn't calling Randy a kid. He's extremely old.
Oh yeah, and my feet may be my feet. I might be handicapped the rest of my life.
I severely doubt that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I like the Moscow Mules.
In DC, it's a martini.
Oh, a nice good martini. Miss Kim makes really good martinis.
By the way, you ever hear of a drink called the Constantine?
Yes.
I guess it's
they have no
old drink from the 30s, kind of like a gin martini with a splash of absinthe. Ooh, that'll mess you up. That stuff will mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so enjoy National Beverage Day,
Right.
whether it be whiskey or beer or other girly drinks, whatever works for you.
I have water and some lemon and ice.
Hey, Donnie, I'm never going to do what you're asking to do, so stop texting it in. Nobody gives a damn. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about that. Bruno Baller says, I guess there's some technical issues with 99.3. Oh, fantastic. What are those issues? Because I'm in the dark. I mean, wait. Now I'm in the dark. Boy, my camera is so good. You can't. I'm not really in the dark. Why am I shining this light in my face if I can just do that and get away with it?
I see.
I don't know.
I'm just going to do the show like this. It's much nicer for my eyes.
Yeah, I think you should.
Anyways, what's going on, Bruno Baller? What Mr. Wilbur says is what Randy is trying to say is he's going to go do a bacon strip tease.
What?
5-minute penalty on Mr. Wilbur, please. That's so dumb. Navy Brad. By the way, Navy Brad, he had a nice trip to the North Carolina. He said that everything went well. He met his sister and her family. No awkward moments. Well, from your perception, maybe. Solid family feeling, he says it was. He says, I forgot to say, going to the airport today, snake was on the hood of a car. My sister freaked out.
Black snake or copperhead? Because it is copperhead and black snake season out there in North Carolina.
That's not your car. I saw that video. And by the way, look, there's green trees back there. So that's no way unless you mean going to the airport in North Carolina.
Yes.
I saw the video of some rattlesnake on the hood, like the windshield, like in that little crease right there.
I don't think they have rattlesnakes back in North. They have the copperheads.
Why? What's up with all these snakes ending up on cars? I mean, Lady Brad, I don't believe that is your picture. But if you tell me it is, then I'll believe you. But I don't believe that it is. Bruno Baller says problems with 99.3 FM seem to be okay now, but there's no signal at the beginning of the show. Yeah, sometimes our connection between here and there drops out. But the person I would text, hey, got to fix this. He ain't around right now. So deal with it. I guess whatever it is, deal with it.
I'd blame Ralph on that one.
True.
Why do you blame Ralph?
Why wouldn't you?
Why would? Yeah.
I mean, look, it's easy to do, but I just assumed that there was some reason.
I mean, why don't we just blame Ralph
beyond him just being Ralph?
Well, he does work for some sort of a company that generates electricity by using solar panel in the sunshine. So it's somehow Ralph has rigged it so our transmitter on 99.3 didn't pick up our signal.
Well, there's no solar panels up there, Randy.
Well, who cares? It has power.
I wouldn't blame Harman Solar.
I might be getting dizzy right now. I probably need to go lay down.
You did not know enough. Just stop. What? You have in 2 hours and 50 minutes, you can go make bacon. You're fine.
Does Miss Kim know that?
Well, what do you mean?
That in 2 hours and 50 minutes, I'll be making bacon?
You need permission?
No, don't need permission.
If I walked out there right now and started making bacon in the kitchen there, nobody would complain. The smell is amazing. And oh my God, there's going to be bacon.
But then there's all that noise and then the cleanup afterwards.
You're a hero if you're making bacon.
Well, true.
It doesn't mean what you think you're making it mean, Randy. Nobody else says, making bacon means having sex.
Did Miss Kim know that I was going to be making bacon in 2 hours? And
that's not what it means. Nobody
49
uses
seconds
making bacon.
What?
Nobody uses making bacon as the do the hump to hump. Nobody's doing that.
Do the Humpty Hump. Does Miss Kim know?
I don't know what Miss Kim knows anymore. But I just know one thing. Nobody says making bacon. If that is your guys' little pet thing, fine. But that's not what I mean, and you know that.
Our pet is Cecil. He's right there.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay. Then I'll just go ahead and
No.
Go bandage up my foot and make some bacon.
If you actually are bleeding, you can bandage your foot, but you're coming back and you're not making bacon. You don't have time for making bacon right now.
What if I stab my foot with this pen right here? What if I do that?
Denied. You should have told me you're stabbing your foot. You should have stabbed your foot and then showed me the blood. Then I'd be like, oh my God, Randy, I'm sorry.
What if I cut my foot with this? Oh, that's magnetic. With these scissors.
Right about now, I wish you would. Yeah, go ahead. Wait, why'd you put the scissors back in the cup?
You don't know what I did.
I heard it hit the cup. You didn't. You know what? I just don't want to talk to you anymore. Listen, over the weekend, there was 2 photo finishes in 2 different races. One of them was cars. The other was horses. And guess what? My horse won the Kentucky Derby.
I saw that.
Mystic Dan. He was a 3-horse photo finish, and that's him right there by a nostril right there, just like boom, touching the little thing right there. It's not a great picture, but yeah, I was just man, I wish I'd put money on that. And when I would have put money on it, it was 20-1. By the time race started, it was 18-1. So I could have even gotten better money if I'd put it in the day we picked it, which was I think we did that Thursday or something, didn't we? Whatever the case, Mystic Dan barely nostriled out Sierra Leone, and then Forever Young was right there in third. All 3 of them it was so damn close. So that was cool. Then Kyle Larson by a nostril or bumper or license plate. It was so close there, beating Chris Buescher at Kansas. That's the closest finish, they say, in NASCAR history.
Yeah. Yeah. 1/1000th of a second.
How did they, because even looking at it with your eyeball, it's like, how can you, I mean.
Well, they've got cameras at the start finish line. They have cameras there, and it's positioned in a way, and they also have computer tracking or telemetry on all of these cars. So they know what the cars are doing. And so they were able to get a picture of the 5 cars' nose. Actually, its spoiler was 1/1000th of a second in front of the 17 car of Chris Buescher, and it was crazy. That's why I love Kansas. It's like a super speedway, but it's not. It's only a mile and a half long, and Kyle Larson ended up winning. And congratulations to him. And but Chris Buescher is having a whale of a season. I expect him to knock down a few victories and see him here in Phoenix in November for the championship weekend.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's crazy that you had 2 super duper close races. This is the closest 3-horse photo finish since 1947. My mom was a baby the last time this happened, or not even born, actually, or just close to it. But yeah, so this has been a weird weekend. I mean, that was pretty good to see that close of a deal. So, of course, I win no money now.
Well,
should have bet. See, if I had bet,
how about Keon and I buy you? How about Keon and I? In celebrating your Kentucky Derby victory, we buy you a mint julep.
No, you know what I'm owed right now. I realized we actually made a bet last week.
Oh, we
candy
did?
bar. Whoever's horse came in gets a big
we did say
pound full, just giant size 1 pound candy bar.
Right. So what candy bar are you wanting for this victory?
I just a Hershey bar.
Okay. Just Hershey milk chocolate, just a chocolate bar, big 1 pounder.
Damn straight. Or you put some almonds in it, I'm fine. But I mean, just straight up chocolate works for me.
Well, there you have it.
That's right. We did do that, didn't we?
We did.
That was an official thing.
That was an official bet. Yeah.
Hooray for me. I'll take the candy bar. Money would be great, but the candy bar. Make sure you're not the only one paying for that, Randy. Collect from the other guys. That's only fair.
Well, I'll take care of. Don't worry about that. I'll take care of my pal. You kidding me?
Big George says, hey, I hope you get a good weekend. My wife and I celebrated our anniversary on Saturday. We were definitely making bacon.
Excuse me?
Okay, we're not turning that into a thing. Every Sunday morning, I go down in the kitchen while everyone else is asleep, and I'm making bacon by myself.
I don't think that's what that's called.
Well, it's just called cooking bacon. I'm making bacon.
Cooking. Okay. Very good. It's Monday. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Clearly.
I'm in a lot of pain. I dropped the bacon on my toe.
I can believe that you're in pain.
Oh, great.
But I
amount
know
of
you're
pain.
not bleeding, and I know you don't need to get off the show to take care of anything.
I don't see any toes sticking out on my slider down here. I may not have any toes left.
Well, they're
The
good.
bacon,
Problem
you know how
solved.
sharp those things, they just sick like that. They just
Yeah.
cut them right off like a scalpel.
Good.
Just sick like
Good. Now you don't have to worry about it.
Hmm.
Toes are gone. Problem's gone.
Keon, if you see me again shortly here, and I have a limp, you'll know why. Because Jeffrey won't let me off the show today.
Noted. I don't know what I can do about
bull
it.
crap either, Andy.
There's just not a whole lot I could do about that.
Who
so-
has corrupted your mind in regards to me taking time off? I want to know.
Me?
Is it Jeffrey?
No one's corrupted my mind.
Jeffrey's corrupted you,
I
hasn't
don't
he?
know that I know bacon to cut through
The
human
edges
skin,
on the packages are
much
just
less
like that.
digits on your foot.
Be a
I
great
don't have
murder
any.
weapon, though.
I have no digits on my left foot. Bacon.
Did you watch the Tom Brady roast?
I can't say that I did. I did see people talking about it though.
Oh, I watched it. I watched the whole thing, start to finish, and it was pretty crazy. It was actually pretty good. There was some good stuff in there. A couple of good comedians. I'd say 3 solid performances. A lot of awkward athletes, and Jesus Christ, I think Gronk as advertised.
Jesus Christ was there?
He was
Wow.
also there. Yes. So, tell you what, we'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are back in action on Tuesday. They'll be in Cincinnati to start a 3-game series with the Reds. The Diamondbacks minus a 1.5 plus 122 on the run line, minus 124 on the money line. While the Reds getting a 1.5 minus 146, minus 106 on the money line with the over-under set at 9. NBA tonight, the Knicks opening up their series with Indiana. Knicks a 5.5-point home favorite at the Garden, minus 215 on the money line. Pacers plus 180. While the Nuggets home tonight at Ball Arena taking on Minnesota. Nuggets a 6.5-point favorite. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply for licenses. See homedepot.com/license numbers. Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply for licenses. See homedepot.com/license numbers.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
So, Ralph, what are the Weekend Warriors all about?
Well, we talk about sports.
National sports?
Of course.
Regional sports?
Sure.
Arizona sports?
Yeah. And we also interview local athletes, coaches, and sports-related business owners to share their amazing stories.
But what if they don't have an amazing story?
Then we talk about something else. You know what, Neil? You're fired.
Again. Well, listen in for great sports talk, amazing interviews, and to see if I have a job next week.
You won't. It's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Just another face in the crowd says Jesus Christ was at the Tom Brady roast in spirit. No, Jesus Christ would be there as Jesus Christ. The Holy Spirit would be there as a separate entity followed by the Lord God Almighty. So, yeah, that's the thing. Does Jesus buy one ticket or 3? See, that's
I don't think Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and or God the Father would have to buy a ticket. I just think if they want to go,
Think he'd get comped?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
What if they're like, okay, so God, Jesus, you're in, but Holy Spirit, you're going to have to buy a ticket. We don't trust you. Yeah, it's all a weirdness thing.
No,
I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah.
So the Tom Brady roast, it was, I felt like it was pretty good. There's a couple of parts where awkward as hell and just weird. I mean, there's jokes about Giselle nailing her jujitsu instructor, jokes about Tom abandoning his kids to play the football, the cheating scandals, Aaron Hernandez jokes, lots of Aaron Hernandez jokes. I always feel a little dirty when we've made Aaron Hernandez jokes in this show. And then all of a sudden, poof, everybody's making them last night. And I'm like, so we're good then?
I still feel weird about that.
Then, of course, Tom's lack of black receivers, which is one of those things when you hear it, you're like, huh? You're like, oh my God, that's true. I don't know. Really? Oh, so Tom's kind of racist?
He didn't draft or sign any of the guys.
So Bill's definitely racist.
He wanted Randy Moss.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Bill Belichick brought Randy Moss in because Randy Moss sounds white. Yeah, that's his voice. Oh my God. He's just out there talking about. He talks like that.
That's where
West Virginia,
where he's from. Like everybody talks like that. That's just how everybody. I don't know. I guess
was Randy Moss there last night?
I think Bill Belichick just read the stats, had a phone call, had no idea, and then he showed up and he's like, we won't win Super Bowls, and just completely screwed him out of a ring.
I mean, they went out undefeated that year. Eli Manning's fault,
except for they did not win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's Eli's fault.
So I guess there was only one joke that went too far, according to Tom, and I'm sure you all heard about it, where Jeff Ross made a joke about Tom asking Robert Kraft if he wanted a massage. And Tom Brady jumps up and he says, don't say that bleep again. And he's like trying to do it like this, but you totally hear it on the mic. And Jeff Ross is like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? He's having a good time because, Robert Kraft was there and laughing at the joke too. And I don't know what Brady is so protective over old Kraft for on that, but, it was no big deal. And of course he came up and it was awkward because he's like, he's all the old. He's just all the old. He is just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You worried he was going to die at any moment. That's how old Bob Kraft is.
Go, Bob Kraft.
Okay, all the old.
Yeah,
and he said nothing but nice stuff. And then Bill Belichick, where everybody says Bill Belichick crushed it. If he'd have slowed down and not messed up a couple words here and there, I could say he did a great job. But he did kind of rush through a couple of his lines, but they were pretty good. Other roasters included Nikki Glazier and Tony Hinchcliffe. They killed. Those guys actually killed. Tom's former teammate, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, who is probably way too Gronk for his own good. That was one of those moments you're watching, you're like, he's exactly what we thought he was. He's exactly what we thought he was. Dumb.
Yeah, dumb as a piece of wood.
You Arizona dumb.
Wow.
And everybody took shots at him all night long. And, of course, then when he spoke, he proved them right. And then Drew Bledsoe was there. And, you remember Drew Bledsoe, the guy Brady replaced. And he's like, I hate Tom. He says Tom's favorite wine is, where's the flag? That was a pretty good line. Then Will Ferrell came out as Tom Brady. Came out as Ron Burgundy, and he called Brady a boring quarterback and the master of the 6-yard slant. It's not a lie. I mean, when he got the whole crowd to chant, Eli Manning made Tom Brady his bitch.
Did you see what Eli said on Twitter?
Oh yeah, Eli says, I was thinking about going to the roast, but I didn't want to roast him a third time. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Then Kim Kardashian was there, and my wife and I, why? And I was like, they're not dating. They're not dating because Kim Kardashian just got done dating Odell Beckham Jr. And so she gets up there, and much to my surprise, A, she was there. B, they booed the hell out of her. in LA. I was kind of surprised about that. She got through it. She didn't shrink to it. She made some Caitlyn Jenner jokes. She said a relationship with her and Tom would never work because an ex-athlete, high cheekbones, silky hair. You remind me too much of my stepdad now. That's what she said.
Oh boy.
And then she took a jab at her old late father, a dead guy, and then OJ. She's like, honestly, it's hard for me to watch people roast you, but I think enough of my family members have helped defend former football players. That was about her dad, Kardashian, who got OJ Simpson off the hook. So Bill Belichick, yeah, I think he was surprisingly good. I feel like he could have done better if he just slowed. He was nervous. And he made a crack about Tide Pods being one of Gronk's favorite foods. And then it got weird and kind of awkward where Kevin Hart, who, by the way, got drunker as the night went on. He was funny early and then it kind of just, yeah. So he got Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft to do a tequila shot together. And it was awkward. You can see that Kraft was into it. Belichick's kind of like, all right, I'm just going to sit down now. A lot of jokes about Bill Belichick not being able to find another job and his phone not ringing, kind of stuff. The weirdest one of the night wasn't even Gronk. It was Ben Affleck. He came out and his mouth is just, his chin is sticking out like this, and he's talking. And he went out. The premise was he was trashing keyboard warriors who criticized Tom Brady online, but it was, I don't know if he was acting or if it was just too much and weird. You don't know. It was just uncomfortable if you ever get to see it. Then, of course, Peyton Manning shows up as a surprise appearance, and he did not swear, not once. I think.
How very Tennessee of him.
And then he had some really funny lines, and he did a good time. He referred to Brady as a 3-time Super Bowl loser, and right. So then Brady gets up, and at first I think, okay, Brady's going to have the goods. These guys probably wrote him some good lines, but it seemed like all he did up there was like, "I'm Tom Brady," like a douchey, overamped version of Tom Brady. A couple of lines he fired off at a couple of people. He did say Kim Kardashian was nervous being there, not because of the crowd, but because it meant her husband was at home with the kids. That was pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good line. And then he started ragging on the Kansas City Chiefs fans, all being 14-year-old girls now because of Taylor Swift. So, and he gave Belichick a hard time. So all the way around, about what you'd expect. Lots of Aaron Hernandez jokes. Oh my God, so many of them. So many of them.
It's just weird to me. That guy had problems, man. Like,
well, he murdered some people.
He murdered some people, but he murdered some people because he wasn't right in the head, and he had not. And if you like, when
the truth isn't funny, Keon. But the fact that Kevin Hart was using the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from under him at the podium, that was funny. It was wrong, but it was funny.
Yeah, I don't know. If a roast of Tom Brady, does it need that many Aaron Hernandez jokes?
I think it had just about exactly the right amount of Aaron Hernandez jokes.
Okay.
And it was funny because most of it came from the players. Most of those jokes.
Well, then
Gronk had one. Brady had one. I think Julian Edelman went up there, and he might have almost got cancelable too far with some of the stuff you said.
Not surprising. Julian Edelman is not capable. He doesn't have a filter. That's the kind of guy that he is. He just, whatever he thinks is a fun thing to say or a funny thing to say, or the truth even, he'll just tell you.
Yeah, it was almost like where I was like, ooh, you're going to want that one back. But all the way around, it was like 3 hours, man. And we watched the whole thing and we enjoyed most of it. I'd say I could have lived without Kim Kardashian or Ben Affleck, and somebody should have come and got Gronk.
Was this is supporting some charity or something, or why were they doing this?
Just doing it to roast Tom Brady. That's all.
Okay.
And Netflix likes money,
and they want to start pushing more live content around sports.
Yeah, and that went without a hitch. There was no glitches, no problems with the video. Everything went great. We were able to pause it to go use the restroom because, like I said, 3 damn hours. And it all worked fine. It all worked fine. So, was I the only one that watched?
Well, I didn't watch. I don't have Netflix. So.
And I do have Netflix. I just wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't pique my interest really. I had boxing and basketball to watch.
Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, it looked like Ben Affleck did a little too much nose candy before he came out. Is that what that is? I wouldn't be surprised
I don't know
if that's
how
what
that
that is. Go find a video of it. Or just fast forward through and find it. It's like, you're like, why are you angry?
What is he doing?
Are you trying to be funny with your bit and you're acting like you're this angry? Or, yeah, and I was kind of glad he left. Because some of them just walked back off and left. Now, not everybody came over and sat down. So, I guess nobody's really texting about it. I'm surprised. All right, I guess that was
which is weird because I did see some of the Fourth Dimension on the Twitter talking about it. So some people watched it.
They got it out of their system.
All right, I guess.
Navy Brad says the snake on the hood of the car was real, and he sent another picture. He says it was black on top, white on bottom. I got a 3-minute video of it. Should I bring the video to you? No, you're no, that's fine. I believe you. Seeing the snake, the still of the snake is enough, but it seems like snakes are getting up on cars all of a sudden here in Arizona and everywhere else. You think they're like trying to get a ride or trying to maybe learn to drive?
Well,
snakes.
They've
been trying to do that for some time now.
Snakes like to be on warm stuff, and cars heat up.
Yeah, but it's going to be like 180 degrees here pretty soon. Just kind of
was that here? Was that?
No, there was a video of a rattlesnake on some woman's car, and then that was Navy Brad with a snake in North Carolina.
Yeah, the North Carolina one makes sense. The here, that's a good way to die if you're a snake.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, you start to smell that.
What is that? Yeah.
Chosen once, and congratulations, Jeffrey, on your Kentucky Derby win. I know. Like we said, I don't know anything about these damn horses. I just had a strong feeling about Mystic Diane and won. And now I get a candy bar. And you know how happy that makes me. I don't even need the money. A candy bar makes me happy. All right, let's talk some baseball, Randy. The Diamondbacks still not looking great. I was sort of looking down. They beat the Padres pretty good, 11-4 last night, and then before that, the Padres beat them pretty good, 13-1. And then I look back over the last 4 series. We've won one game out of each series, whether it's 3-game or 4-game, doesn't matter. They were actually all 3-game series. The Cardinals, the Mariners, the Dodgers, and the Padres. One game apiece out of each one of those series. So when do we start to get worried about this?
Well, first of all, keep in mind it's only May 6th to be exact. And the season's only been going on a little more than a month now. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. The thing that's kind of chilling my bone a little bit is the Diamondbacks hitting has been inconsistent at best. I mean, yesterday they came out, scored 4 runs right off the top of the bat there, and another 2 in the second inning. They got 4 more in the 4th inning, ended up 11-4. But these Diamondbacks, who have a great scoring average in the major leagues, are very inconsistent. The 2 games before, they didn't score very much at all. The first game they got blanked. The second game they only scored 2 runs, and they got pounded 14-2. So. The Diamondbacks have more worries than just pitchers being hurt. Oh, by the way, Merrill Kelly has moved to the 60-day IL, so he's going to be gone longer than we thought. Rodriguez is going to be gone longer than we thought, and Zach Gallen he continues to keep moving, but even Jordan Montgomery and Brandon Pfaadt have been beat up a bit in their outings, the last couple of outings. So. The only thing I can say is the Diamondbacks need to get healthy in their pitching staff, and they need to get more consistent with bats. The other teams have figured out how to shut this team down. Now, I will tell you what was good from yesterday. Corbin Carroll went, 2 for 4 or 3 for 4 yesterday? Had a couple of hits, 2 for 4 yesterday, couple of hits, had a couple of RBI, and scored a run himself. So that's a good day for Corbin Carroll, and you love to see that. He was only batting like 160 something before he started hitting the ball. Other guys that had a good day yesterday, Jake McCarthy, he went 3 for 4 in the leadoff spot, had 2 RBI, and scored 3 runs himself. So you'd like to see these guys really start to hit the ball, be more consistent, And then Ryan Nelson did exactly what he needed to do, which was go 5 innings. He gave up 8 hits. He gave up 4 earned runs, but he had a solid outing. And then the Diamondbacks bullpen did not just give it up. They didn't, come in and give up the game. So Mantiply came in, Martinez, Thompson, and then Kevin Ginkel closed it out, gave up 1 hit, and he had 1 strikeout. But he shut the team, the Padres, down. So good for the Diamondbacks. They go on now and will continue on facing the saw blades of the NL or the NL. They take on the Reds tomorrow in Cincinnati. They've got 3 against the Reds. Then they go to Baltimore to take on the Orioles for 3. And then they come home to take the Reds on for 3 at home before the Tigers come to town for 3. So it will be interesting to see over these next 12 games or so what the Diamondbacks do and who's going to get healthy and who's going to help this team. Like I said, hitting has got to be more consistent, and pitching is just in trouble right now.
Well, they better get it figured out. Chosen One says Diamondbacks missing 10 of their 40 players to injury.
Yeah.
If they can get healthy and get to 500 by All-Star break, they should be okay.
Yeah, well, even if they're not 500, as long as they are getting healthy and they start to get healthy and they start winning again and start winning some of these series, that's the ticket right there. You've got to win more series than you lose. Win more series before the All-Star break and really have a positive finish to the first half of the season. You should be good, but that's a long way off. We're talking about July for the All-Star break. It's May 6th right now. Everybody just needs to, kind of relax and let the season unfold. But boy, the Dodgers in Los Angeles, I was watching some highlights. That's not going to be fun. After they face the Tigers here at home, they go to LA and take on the Dodgers for 3 games. Shohei Ohtani's just hitting the cover off the ball.
Oh, I know. 2 home runs the other day. Jeez.
I think he's hitting 360 or something in the majors.
Well, fantastic.
Before we move on, I was reading about this Cubs pitcher, Randy, and I wanted to get your thoughts on him. Shota Imanaga, he's got a sub-1 ERA. I think it's like 7.78 or something like that. The guy's just dominant. And I guess I was hearing things about him and hearing that he was going to be good. But did you know he was going to be this good? Because I did not see this coming.
I didn't know he was going to be this good. But listen, I've been saying all along, we're pretty arrogant as Americans to have a World Series and call the Diamond or whoever wins the World Series world champions. I would venture to say if American teams played against the world in a true World Series, we wouldn't be as dominant as everyone says. The game has grown, and the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Japan, South Korea, all of those countries have amazing baseball programs and would probably give us a run for the money. I'd love to see Major League Baseball come up with some way to have a true World Series, because I think we're missing a lot of talent. And this is one. What am I trying to say? This is one guy that we've missed out on. And another one was Yamamoto, who pitched with Japan, and he's an amazing pitcher as well. We're missing out on a lot of talent that Major League Baseball doesn't get to see and the rest of the world doesn't get to see, because we don't have a true World Series. That's why I love the World Baseball Classic so much. That's a true world tournament. You see what I'm saying? And you get to see some real talent out there.
Well, coming up, we're going to talk about the World Tournament of the NBA playoffs.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's really the World Tournament. Nobody else is playing as good at basketball as the Americans, right?
I don't know.
Well, not just the Americans, but it's the guys in the NBA that they're, Luka's one of the best from Europe, and so is Wemby, and Paolo Banchero is.
Yeah. We got a bunch of foreigners. I get it. I just meant teams. Teams.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't. When people say, "Oh, the NBA champion is the world champion," to me, that's why I am okay with that. Is not only do we have great American players, but we've got the best that the world has to offer here playing in the NBA.
Except for them shady-ass Canadians. Listen, we'll talk about this when we come back. The teams for the second round have been set and already in motion for the Wolves and the Nuggets. We'll talk about all that when we get back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. founder of Wesley Financial Group. Being stuck in a bad timeshare can be overwhelming, straining your finances, your health, and even family relationships. I know because everyday families call us for help, stressed to no end because of a timeshare they were misled into buying and can't even use. Some people even get second jobs or come out of retirement just to pay for fees that go on forever. I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help good folks out of bad timeshare deals. And our mission is working. To date, we've helped over 40,000 families achieve timeshare freedom. Give me a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free exit info kit. 800-420-2255. 800-420-2255. 800-420-2255.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher, and I am with the one and only Josh Garcia with the Miracle Mile Deli, who are celebrating something that's pretty unique. 75 years in business. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Mark. Thank you. The Miracle Mile family would like to thank you and the hundreds of thousands of people that have visited Miracle Mile Deli since our family restaurant started here in the Valley in 1949. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve generations of families across the Valley over the last 7 decades. We are extremely grateful to be celebrating our 75th anniversary in 2024. We cordially invite you to visit our Phoenix location on 16th Street in Campbell to celebrate our 75th anniversary throughout the year. We consider ourselves so lucky to be able to be a part of the Valley community and know that we wouldn't be here without our loyal Miracle Mile patrons and team members. So from our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to serve you over the last 75 years. And we look forward to continuing the Miracle Mile tradition with you for many more years to come. For more information, visit miraclemiledeli.com.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Need a boost in capital or a flexible line of credit for your growing business? Hi, I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital. I can help you get the money you need fast. The process is a breeze with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need, faster and easier than asking your banker. So call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up, got Pacers and Knicks at 4:30 p.m. on the TNT. If you're going to watch it, we'll keep you up to date with the scores and stuff like that. But right now, let's talk about the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. The Timberwolves and the Nuggets have already played a game, and much to my surprise, the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets at home. I did not watch this game because, honestly, I didn't know it was happening. So, Keon, why don't you fill us in on how the Timberwolves were able to steal a game from the Nuggets, or is this looking to be the way this series is about to go?
I think that the Nuggets are going to have an answer to this, but the reason why the Timberwolves were able to steal a game from the Nuggets, Anthony Edwards. Yeah, the guy is
43 points.
43 points. He's absolutely relentless. He plays like a psycho. I like everything about the guy's game, and he's a tough cover. I think that he's the way he plays, I think, makes you feel like he's volume shooting, but then when you go out, he's actually being really efficient with the basketball. And he's not a ball hog. The ball doesn't stick in his hands. He knows when to move on, let somebody else take big shots. But Jaden McDaniels is out there being a defensive stopper. I think that that's what they want him to be, but he offered them nothing offensively. Goose egg, 0 of 7 from 3, didn't score a single point. And it didn't matter because Anthony Edwards picked up the slack, like a superstar supposed to. And it was just, it was fun to watch, but it was also just, I think the Nuggets weren't prepared with how just relentless he is. He was good in the regular season, but he's taken that and he's gone up another level in the playoffs. And I got to give him credit for that.
So Naz Reid really contributed last night as well. He had a big fourth quarter. But how's Rudy Gobert doing? Because there's a chance Rudy Gobert may not be playing tonight. The rumor is his wife had a baby, possibly his, and that, well, because of all that, he may not be there for the game. But since the game is later, maybe then again he will be. Any word on Gobert for tonight? And if he's not there, what does that mean to the Timberwolves?
I think he's going to be there, but I didn't really catch anything definitive, honestly. But if he's not there, that's going to make life easier for the Nuggets. He is the anchor of that team defensively. I mean, his nickname is the Stifle Tower, and that's the reason why. It's hard to score on somebody that big with instincts to be able to know when to move and close off driving lanes. He's sharp, and he made life difficult on Jokic. I think Nikola Jokic also dominates boards really well. Gobert had 13 rebounds, and I thought that like almost all of them were big, important rebounds. They just giving them second possessions, keeping the ball out of Jokic's hand. He does a tremendous job defending him. It's one of the tougher covers for Jokic. So even though he's not necessarily always a scoring threat, I think it is going to affect the Wolves defensively if he's not there.
Also possibly affecting English Joe, you're right. I was about to bring this up, but he says Nuggets have a Jamal Murray problem. He didn't score a single point in the first half. He's not healthy enough to be on the court and make a meaningful difference. Timberwolves have the Nuggets number, and they will take this series. So the question is, will Jamal Murray play? He was a game time decision when I looked earlier. I don't know what his current status is.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to play. I haven't seen any update on his status either. But even if he plays, he's not 100%. And that's still a major problem, because in that first round against the Lakers, the gentleman's sweep, but like the Lakers were leading in a couple of those games. And then fourth quarter, especially the second half of those fourth quarters, turned into Jamal Murray time. He made a bunch of big shots, a couple of game winners to put that series away. If he's not 100%, that shot making ability, the ability to just give the ball to him and just say, hey, go get us a bucket, that takes away from your ability to close out games in the postseason.
Against the Spread says, I like the Timberwolves to win tonight. Denver has started each of their playoff games slow, and the Wolves turn it up a notch in the third quarter each game. I also think the Timberwolves match up well versus Denver. Wait on Gobert decision to play before placing that wager, though. All right, thanks. Against the Spread. Well, that just doesn't bode well for the Nuggets if they lose the first two at home.
It doesn't, because that's supposed to be their edge, their advantage, is that you go into Denver and you come out with an L. And if that's not true in this series, then there's no guarantee that Denver gets out of this series, and who knows how many games they even wind up winning.
Of course, we've seen this happen before where the away team wins the first two games on somebody else's court. Then the other guys come back and they win it on your court. Now we're back to an even series. So anything can still happen.
Yeah, and Michael Malone's a good coach. He'll make adjustments.
Mm-hmm. Navy Brad says, Randy, here's a good texture nickname, Snake on the Hood. No, Brad. No, it's not. It's just not. Sorry.
Not with this audience.
No. Snake on the Hood?
No. Bruno Baller says, Randy, aren't most of the best players from all other countries already playing in the major league, though?
Not necessarily. Yamamoto and the kid from Chicago, they were both in the Japanese league prior.
Well, I know what he's saying is, but aren't all the good players already here?
Well, what Randy's saying is Imanaga, the guy from the Cubs, he's 30. So he was this good last year.
And
but he wasn't playing
Yamamoto's no spring chicken. Neither one of them are. They were career guys in the Japanese leagues. And I got to tell you, if you scout these Japanese and even South Korean leagues, there's some ball players, man. Venezuela has some ball players. The Dominican Republic has some ball players. I just don't think we have tapped the potential of amazing ball players around the world. And for us to call it the World Series is a bit presumptuous. Ever since Major League Baseball has spread around the world, I think it should be opened up to a World Baseball Classic type of series now. So our best takes on the world. We have a series, we have a World Series, so to speak. They take on the world in a World Baseball Classic, the best of the best.
Somebody correct me, some soccer person correct me if I'm not saying this correctly or if I'm wrong about this, but I think they've got the Champions League in the soccer. So you got the best of like the English league and the best of the German league and all that. And they play a tournament for the champ,
Yeah.
And I think with that, like with the winner of the World Series won and played the champion of the Japanese league or the South Korean league, like that could be really cool.
Yeah.
So Big George, don't worry about that. Big George is worried that if Minnesota wins, that Donnie's going to be insufferable on Twitter. He's going to be insufferable either way.
He's already insufferable, and they weren't winning before.
There's just no difference on that.
You're just going to let that guy be himself,
So also tonight, Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. That's starting at 4:30 p.m. And that matchup, of course, is a historical one. Brings back to mind the old days of Reggie Miller versus not even Patrick Ewing. It's going to be versus Spike Lee. But, it was always a lot of fun. I don't know. Is this looking to be as much fun as the past, or is this going to be something where the New York Knicks just get through the Pacers pretty easily?
No, I think this is going to be a fun series because both of these teams play really hard. Tom Thibodeau in New York is just notorious for trying to get a team of guys that they like to work hard, and he tends not to give a whole lot of days off. He's a very old school kind of coach that way. He coaches those guys hard. They hustle, they play defense. I know that Jalen Brunson and his scoring has been the kind of headline for the Knicks, but they're a great defensive team. Thing is, so are the Pacers. So like we're looking at two really talented defensive squads with guards who can really score and distribute the basketball. Jalen Brunson versus Tyrese Halliburton. I think it's going to be really good. I don't know if it's going to be like those series in the 90s, though, because I don't know that anybody's got the personality on those teams to make it that.
Halliburton's a game time decision right now. They said if he's going to play.
I saw that they were leaning towards it, but I should probably double check that.
Ringless Joe says just from that one win alone, the Nuggets went from minus 200 favorites to plus 115 underdogs to win the series.
Wow. What does that tell you?
Yeah. It
didn't tell us anything. I mean, let's just see what happens tonight. That'll tell you what you need to know.
It just tells us that Vegas is surprised by how the Wolves won that game. That I think that was a big shocker there. And Rick Carlisle, Pacers head coach, says that Tyrese Halliburton should be okay for tonight. But coaches lie. So we'll see.
Bruno Baller says Randy wants to do it like they do in the Little League World Series.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Randy wants to do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. That's what they do. Bang, bang, bang. Never mind, it's a song. Anyway, just a side note for Dallas Mavericks fans, your known wife beater coach is going to be around a while. Jason Kidd's now got a multi-year contract extension with the Mavericks, so let's just hope she has dinner ready afterwards, because now he's got the money to back it up, I guess. I don't know. So, you know what's happening? Everybody is grabbing their coaches and getting multi-year extensions with them. Why? Because the Lakers fired Darvin Ham. So everybody's just like, no, come here.
Batten down the hatches.
I saw a picture of old Monty Williams on a story about the Lakers, and I'm just like, please do. That'd be great. No, Monty's good. Monty's a good man. He would not fit in with the Lakers.
No.
Too much character.
And he's too nice. And I just think that not that that's what LeBron would accept, but the next coach that the Lakers need is somebody that's going to kind of put their foot down every once in a while, or at least have enough respect from LeBron to be able to do that. I don't think that's Monty.
Donnie says, you guys better pray in your hands and knees. The Wolves don't win at all. You know, I got a block button now, right? Seriously.
And I mean, it's
not worried, Donnie.
It's sports. If they win it all, I actually do not care. So I would just tell you congrats. That's sports.
Yeah, we don't care for you much, but we don't mind the Timberwolves. We don't mind those guys.
They're pretty cool.
You're the one that we can't stand.
And I don't even have I don't have anything with Donnie personally. It is what it is.
Oh, you chicken.
I just don't.
Chosen One says, great Bloodhound Gang reference, Jeffrey. Thank you very much, sir. And let's do this. That's 1 hour down. We got 2 to go. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher with Josh Garcia of the Miracle Mile Deli. Josh, I want to thank you and your family for making such a huge difference over the last 75 years in the restaurant business in Arizona.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve generations of families like yours in the Valley over the last 7 decades, and we are extremely grateful to be celebrating our 75th anniversary in 2024 with a variety of different specials. So come on down to our Phoenix location at 16th Street in Campbell with your family and friends and celebrate with us. For more information, visit miraclemiledeli.com.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353, or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply for licenses. See homedepot.com/license numbers.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Big George says, wow, when did Indiana become the professional sports hotspot of America? Yeah, the Pacers are in a roll. Caitlin Clark's going to be playing for the Indiana Fever. Colts are looking like a team to beat in the AFC South right now. Time to move to Indiana? Well, if you don't mind a whole lot of racists, yeah, be my guest. I mean, tons of them there. There's like wall-to-wall racists. It's like Boston Midwest. And, but outside of that, there's also nothing to do there. Nothing. Yeah. There's nothing to do but go to those games. Outside of that, after the game, go home because there's nothing to do there.
As the many NBA players have called Indianapolis, it's India no place.
Exactly. There's no reason.
Cornfield
I
with lights.
was a fan of the Colts back when they were in Baltimore, and I was too young to realize the murder fest Baltimore could be. And I didn't pick them because of the town. I picked them because I think they look like pretty good guys. Yeah, that seems like a good team. And I was also a dumb kid. So, and after that, when I picked the Colts to be my team when I was 11 years old, there was a lot of years of not good football. So Keon, if you act like I haven't suffered what you have suffered, I have suffered.
You have suffered, but you haven't suffered what I've suffered.
Well, yeah, I've had 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, and
neither one of you blokes has suffered what I've suffered.
Randy, I absolutely have.
You,
my franchise may not have sufferred what your
Super Bowls does your team have?
None that I've seen with my own eyes.
But in the
there's a
history
trophy
of your,
case though.
Yeah,
oh yeah, so
you have-
okay, I get to look at the trophy case for Super Bowls I wasn't a part of, didn't see, didn't watch. Yes,
Well,
3 of them.
But at
You got
least
3 of
Ralph can't beat you over the head with the fact that there's 0 Super Bowls in the history of your club, like he can do to Randy White.
Beats the hell out of me.
Yeah.
over
Well,
that.
the thing is, I go at Ralph all the time for living in the past. I can't even live in a past that I didn't watch. Like that's not what I want for myself.
I mean,
I've never seen a Super Bowl for
I
my
will
team.
say, I will say that you have suffered nearly as much, but with Super Bowls, I'm sorry, I can't go as far as to
The
say
Cardinals have been to more
uh,
Super Bowls in my own life than my team.
Once.
Yes, that's more. That's more than us.
Yeah, and the Cardinals did get robbed in that Super Bowl.
We did.
Yeah.
That was not a catch. That was not a catch.
Not a catch.
We didn't even go. We haven't been to an NFC title game in 25 years, much less the Super Bowl. Come on.
You have won a World Series, so
That's true. I'm just talking about the football.
the Wizards suck. I mean, the Wizards truly do suck. I mean, but the Capitals.
Yeah, it's just that I think the Commanders have had the truly awful run in that bunch because at least the Wizards had like playoff teams many times.
Oh my God. I just realized something.
What's that?
All right, time for everybody to do a sports inventory. Okay. So
sports inventory.
No. It just occurred to me. So if I think about it, I've had 2 Super Bowls with the Colts. I've had 1 World Series with the Diamondbacks. 0 Stanley Cups with the Coyotes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
0 NBA championships with the Suns.
Yeah. But we've gone 3 times.
Doesn't matter. I've got in my entirety of sportsdom 3 championships. How many do you have, Randy, with your teams? You have 1.
1.
How many do you have with your teams, Keon? You got like
I mean
World Series, Stanley Cup,
mhm.
3 Super Bowls,
and 1 NBA Finals.
But if you take away the ones from when he was alive, then he has no Super Bowls.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was alive.
Technically, you're
I was
winning though, Keon.
I was alive for one of the Super Bowls, but I was not yet an American citizen, so I don't count that one because I wasn't even a fan of the team yet. I was 2.
Well, that's
Boy,
I mean
you're
that's
picky
true
about your stats, man.
Well,
I would just take those. I would take those wins. Just take those wins.
It counts. It counts.
You
if
didn't
I
have to tell us
if
that.
I see them. Well, because I was 2. I think if anybody does the math, they can figure it out. It's not.
We never did see your papers.
I mean, I got them, and you absolutely did because I don't know how you would have hired me without it.
I don't get involved. I don't get involved with that stuff.
Okay, then Ron saw him, and you'll have to ask him about it.
So, all right. So, in lifetime, I think that's how this has to go, Randy. In your lifetime, you've only had 1 championship, and that's the World Series. In my lifetime, I've had 3. In your lifetime, Keon, how many championships?
3.
So you and I are tied for that. I got to tell you, I'm curious what everybody else has. Everybody, do a sports inventory, and this is championships in your lifetime.
I'm sorry, Donnie. You
four major
won't have
sports.
anything. Sorry, Donnie.
Donnie has nothing. He just texted. I mean, he just gave me a direct message on Twitter. Why are you ignoring my texts? It's like I'm only ignoring the ones where you asked me to howl or some stupid crap like that. So I just read one of his texts a little bit ago. So that's what I want to know. Do your sports inventory, and if you want to tell me 2 Super Bowls with Rams or 1 World Series with whoever's, fill me in. Let's see who has had the most success as a fan
Well,
in their lifetime.
I know the answer to that question already, but
goddamn Ralph.
Oh, I don't know. That's true. Ralph is up there. Actually, I didn't think about Ralph.
Yeah, he's a bandwagon.
I was thinking about the Burke.
We would only let you use your primary teams. Primary teams.
Well, Ralph has a couple of Stanley Cups.
I don't want to talk about Ralph's teams.
No,
If he's not listening, he doesn't need to enter, and we don't have to worry about it.
He's got a Dodgers championship, but that was a shortened season.
Beer Bob says, listening to you guys makes me glad I'm a New England Patriots fan, even in this dark time. Plus, I'm from Chicago,
Shut
so
up.
I grew up with the 90s Bulls,
Shut
White
up.
Sox.
I don't want to hear
won
about
the World Series in
dark
2005.
times from Boston fans. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
about dark times from you people.
Yeah.
You had
Blackhawks.
20 years of football excellence. Screw you guys. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a hold of them emotions.
Dark
'cause
times.
Couple of world championship
everybody
baseball titles.
Who listens seems to have better times than
Stanley
our
Cups.
teams do.
I understand that, but then don't talk to me about dark times. Like that's just nighttime for you. I've been living in 25 years of the dark. Leave me alone on that.
Beer Bob just says, hey, no, just listen. Thank you for making me feel better.
You're welcome. You should have been feeling
I don't
better.
think that made Keon feel better.
You should have been feeling better. That's my point.
Donnie says, Timberwolves are undefeated on game days where I've eaten a California burrito.
Well,
3-0 in the playoffs. Things are looking good for tonight.
You're gonna have to keep hitting those
your
burritos.
laundry's but your laundry's a mess though.
Yeah, your wife is dealing with some skid marks. That,
Yeah.
you
Oh
know,
yeah.
You wouldn't see it PIR. It's just
Oh,
a
no.
lot.
But
a
it's
lot of-
worth it. If
Yeah.
they keep winning, it's worth it.
Just try not to eat any peanuts. There's gonna be some lumps. Cards Chappie says 1 because screw Arizona sports and championships.
Wow. Wow, Cards Chappie.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Man.
Wow.
Chosen One says, I got 2 World Series with the Minnesota Twins. Bruno Baller says, when Randy looks at the trophy case, it's a Diamondbacks World Series and a few Rattlers and Mercury trophies. I wasn't counting those. I was just talking about the big 4.
Yeah,
the
no.
big 4.
Just the world championship.
Because, I mean, I don't want to add on. Well, the Phoenix Rising. Shut up.
Yeah.
The fastest ever.
Walter Mellon says, Randy, Cardinals also have pretty darn good stadium. Never had any poop falling over your fans during the game there. That's good.
No, don't think that's
true.
happened.
No, yeah, that's
I
true.
don't think that the most electrifying player that your team's ever drafted had his knee destroyed by your field. Don't think that's ever happened either.
Yeah, we're
I
not
will
doing
t-
moral
well,
victories, though, Walter Mellon.
Kyler Murray, he got injured, but that wasn't at home, right?
That was self-inflicted.
That was somewhere else, right?
No, I don't know.
That wasn't at home.
I don't honestly remember what it was, but it was on
He wasn't
natural
even-
grass, wherever
He
it was.
wasn't. He wasn't even touched, was he?
Yeah.
No,
sometimes
Well,
it's time for your knee to go. But
if you ask me, Kyler Murray's a little touched. Slow Mo Zo says, I got too many championships to count. Reds,
Oh,
Patriots, Bulls, Bruins. We'll count them up, or does somebody from the East
Reds,
Coast
you mean,
is not
you mean
good
Red
at counting.
Sox? Red Sox?
Just Red. He says Reds. I don't know if that means
Reds.
Cincinnati Reds.
I think because he also mentioned the Bulls, so it's not just one city.
It's a weird mix, but good for you. Ringless Joe says no one has suffered as much as Lions fans. At least the Cardinals have been to a Super Bowl.
I think also it's kind of relative to how old you are, because on a long enough timeline, no one suffered more than Lions fans. In the timeline of my life, it's about the same, and the Lions are pulling ahead.
Beer Bob says, so before Keon rudely interrupted you, I believe it's a total of 16 championships for me. And he smiles nicely.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't rudely interrupting Jeffrey. I was rudely interrupting you. He was reading your text.
16 championships. Wow.
That's why I don't want to hear about dark times from you. This is just just night.
Keon, he was just being facetious.
So some of us live in the North Pole. It's dark
16
most of the year.
Damn.
Silver Pop says, guys, enough. I'm with the talk about Ralph's teams and their championships. What is this? Weekend Warriors? I get to hear about his teams on Saturdays. He even said the Dodgers have the best parking lots. Really?
Was hyping up the Dodger dog.
Who's more insufferable in everybody's ears and eyes, Ralph or Donnie?
Donnie.
I think it's Ralph.
Oh, see,
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
Ralph.
Donnie.
I don't know.
because Ralph can turn any conversation. The conversation would not include the Dodgers at all. And if you talk long enough, it becomes a conversation about the Dodgers or the Lakers or the Kings. Yeah, or the Rams or the Seahawks. I don't know.
He can't talk about the damn
it's
Rams.
more about the Seahawks.
He should be talking about the Sea Chickens and never talk about the damn Rams.
Some of these teams you've just got to put down. Like when they move into the same division, one of them's got to go.
Yeah,
you can't have them both.
The last time I was a Rams fan is when I was a kid and Roman Gabriel was the quarterback. May he rest in peace.
And maybe it's just I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in Ralph's head. But to me,
what's going on in his head is he's counting trophies. That's what he does.
You got to hate every person in a football division. Like that's just the way they set up the league. And you have one team you don't actually hate.
We would only allow Ralph the Seahawks and the Dodgers and the Kings and the Lakers. We would allow him no other teams. And I don't even want to know the math on that because he's still pretty good.
He was saying, "Oh, I'm okay with the Clippers." Oh, stop it! You just can't pick up the Clippers as well.
He hates the Clippers.
He did not say that the last time he was talking about the Clippers.
Really? No. I would. We have to ask him live on the radio station.
We'll do. Last time he was talking about the Clippers, he sounded kind of fond of the Clippers.
What we do is wait till after the season to ask him that. So he's forgotten about
that's like a USC UCLA rivalry there.
Hefty Lefty says, I'm only a fan of teams in two of the four major sports, but I've been lucky enough to see titles for both of them in my lifetime. Ben Ruff is a Galaxy fan for the past decade, though. What are the Galaxy?
Soccer.
No, shut up, Hefty.
The Galaxy?
Well, if that's a team he likes, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Well, Hefty's a Laker fan and a Bronco fan. So like you just don't like baseball and hockey? Ringless Joe says, oh, the Dodgers have a great parking lot. Tons of space to park your bandwagon. Nicely done. Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says, Seattle won, and we lost the Sonics. Awesome.
Sorry, man.
Moist One says, I'm a Joey Chestnut fan. It's not one of the major sports, Moist One.
And also not a sport.
Yeah.
It's eating.
It's 0% a sport and not a major sport. A Big George says, so this sports inventory include? No, I'm not, no. He says, when I was a child, okay,
you might as well have started that text once upon a time.
It is story time with George here. I'll read it. Here we go. I was a Chicago sports fan growing up as a kid. So if that's the case there, I have 6 NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls, 1 Super Bowl championship with the 85 Chicago Bears when I was 4 months old, 1 World Series championship with the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2001, and 1 World Series championship with the Chicago Cubs in 2016. You know what? I'm just, I'm not going to read
any further.
You
can't do that, George.
I'm not going to read any further.
You can't do that. You're either or. You can't claim the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. Sorry, you can't do that.
Sorry, you're exempt from this exercise. You are exempt.
Yeah, you got to put one of those teams down. And if you have a second team, the second team doesn't count. That's just another team you like to watch.
Yeah, your story bores me. So, Brunswick guy says, "Hey guys, it's a Keon's. Sorry, now it's mixing them. I'm clicking on Brunswick guy, but
and then it's giving you the other one. Yeah. It did that to me Saturday.
Here we go. Hi guys, I can attest to Keon's assertion that Ralph recently said he liked the Clippers. He likes their team and said he could see them winning a championship.
Yeah, but what was the context? I think the context has
son of a bitch.
Well, the context was Jeffrey asked, who are you rooting for in the playoffs after this?
Yeah,
and Ralph was like the other LA team, and then he did give good reasons why, but still.
But if the Lakers were still in it, who do you think he would root
We'd
for?
Obviously choose the Lakers, yeah.
Right,
but the same thing, if the playoffs were happening and the Seahawks and the Rams were in it, he'd choose the Seahawks over the Rams. But when the Seahawks are gone, he's going to turn to the Rams and act like he was rooting for them the whole time.
We need to bust his chops over that. He can't do that.
I have never stopped.
He cannot do that.
Bob says, "Oh wait, I got one more Super Bowl because when I was young and didn't know better, I was rooting for the Bears. No, we didn't do that for George. We're not doing that. Just you can get 17.
No,
not doing it.
No.
Bruno Baller says since 1980, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Boston all got to see their 4 major sports franchises win championships: baseball, hockey, basketball, football. So it's LA, Chicago, and Boston. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ringless Joe says, is it fair to have 2 football teams? No.
No. You pick your favorite one and count those.
Yep. He says, I backed the Cardinals and the Lions. Neither have won anything. I was born in Michigan, but lived here my whole life.
We'll allow you an exception and that the number is still 0, whichever way you do it.
No, but you still got to pick one. You got to pick one.
Which 0 do you prefer?
Fifth letter says, Ralph said that? Oh, hell no. We never root for the other LA team. F the Clippers.
See?
I know. That's what he said.
From a Lakers fan right there. All right. Well, that was a fun exercise, which now I'm depressed about.
Why? I feel like you should have known where it was going from the beginning.
I don't know. It's just one of those things you don't think about and you don't try to count up. And then when you do and you realize, 2 Super Bowls and 1 World Series. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 53. Okay.
So you have 2 Super Bowls and what? And 1
World Series.
World Series. And I have 1 World Series. What do you got to complain about?
A lot of fans don't have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Still.
A lot of fans don't
Gandalf
have that.
says, hey, what about that guy, Eric? It was part of your show. Used to kill horses by picking them for races. It didn't have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah.
We had nothing to do with what we're talking about, Gandalf.
Plus, he's a U of A fan. So.
Yeah, even less reason to talk about him.
Yeah.
Bruno Baller says, I could be mistaken, but I think the Raiders won one of their Super Bowls when they were in Los Angeles. Doesn't matter. It's not about the city. It's about your teams. Your teams.
What is your team?
Well, Bruno Baller. Yeah, that's a good point. You're just listing off Los Angeles, Chicago, and Boston. Did you live in all 3 of those places? Niner Napolis says, damn, this just made me sad. Remind me the Niners have lost 3 Super Bowls since I've been a grown man.
Yeah.
But I'll hold on to those Steve Young years. If I can't count the early Montana ones, I was born in 86.
Oh, I mean, look, there aren't moral victories, but I can't imagine being that miserable over your team losing Super Bowls. You go. Okay? Some of us don't get to go.
Why is Keon talking about the Yugo?
I don't know. He was a Honda guy.
I am not talking about the Yugo. I am saying being miserable when your team goes to a championship game is, I find that to be
Keon,
insane.
why are you talking about a Yugo?
Never mind. It's okay.
He's really cranky about cars.
He really is.
Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, I don't know what we're talking about. They're probably football. Feel like we should just talk football now, just to try to make us feel better after this depressing moment of realizing.
Hopefully, future football.
How bad our sports have been,
as opposed to football of the past.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher with Josh Garcia of the Miracle Mile Deli. Josh, I want to thank you and your family for making such a huge difference over the last 75 years in the restaurant business in Arizona.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve generations of families like yours in the Valley over the last 7 decades, and we are extremely grateful to be celebrating our 75th anniversary in 2024 with a variety of different specials. So come on down to our Phoenix location at 16th Street in Campbell with your family and friends and celebrate with us. For more information, visit miraclemiledeli.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach. Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. T-Licious says, Keon, Niners used to be 5-0 in Super Bowls. Now we're 5-3. That's the depressing part. But yeah, I'm glad my team's been relevant the last 13 years. That was T-Licious. It was T-Licious that gave me that LeBron, the only place LeBron can handle the Nuggets was McDonald's. It was T-Licious that gave me that. By the way, thanks for that, T-Licious.
It's very cool. I would rather be relevant than a laughing stock. So there's that.
By the way, before we move on to football, Russell Westbrook, I love this where he says, the report about him wanting to leave the Clippers, that's likely been fabricated. Sorry, likely? So you're not sure? There's an like, well, probably something somebody made up. No, it should be, that's bull crap. I never said that. And he's like, well, I probably said that, but whoever told you that, well, they probably made that up because they don't know.
Or maybe he just didn't tell anybody. And so he's like, I don't know how anybody's telling you that. Not saying it's wrong, just that I didn't say it.
Likely that has been fabricated.
He's sitting there thinking, who did I talk to? I don't even remember.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have time to remember who. So it's probably been fabricated. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. All right.
Well, so, I think because Russ doesn't like, because he's not going to do the Kyrie Irving thing where that one kid asked Kyrie, are you going to stay in Boston? And Kyrie looked that kid dead in his eyes and said, yes, kid, I'm coming back. And then left instantly. So Russ doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to lie to anybody. But he didn't say it. So
Russ can't get his story straight is what I see there. Yeah. So, Arizona, who produced the brilliance that was Gronkowski on that roast last night. Down there, they got something called the Arizona Bowl. They have the Arizona Bowl, and now I guess Snoop Dogg has purchased the rights. So now it'll be the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice. That is actually the legal name for it. Mm-hmm. And so I guess Dr. Dre's got to be involved somehow, right?
He absolutely is. They're partners in this.
He says, we're looking to bring the juice back to college football. So Barstool used to have it. Jimmy Kimmel used to have it. Now Snoop has it. Didn't Jimmy Kimmel call it the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl one year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's the Arizona Bowl, right?
I think so, yeah. If I'm remembering correctly.
Cheap ass bowl. We would buy the bowl, the Daily Blender Bowl. We could call it the day, but I don't want to send our listeners to Tucson. I feel like I've got a duty of care. You shouldn't inflict that on them.
Duty.
I got a duty. So another way that Arizona just sucks really bad, and you don't need me to tell you. Our old friend producer Wes, he actually posted this up on the Twitter. Somebody named Ryan Fleming posted this up, and it showed the Colorado Buffalo schedule. When they go ahead and put it up there, and it says ticket prices and all that. And I'm looking at the ticket prices. So let's see, Colorado Buffaloes when they play UCF, $145 a ticket. When they play the Bay, they're $169, $191 when they play CSU, and $185 when they play Nebraska. And look, there's Utah for $156. K-State, Kansas, $132. Arizona, $51.
Wow.
All of these other games are over $100, but for some reason, Arizona, more than half that, $51.
And U of A will probably kick their ass.
It's on October 19th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just cracked me up to see that.
It is pretty funny when you consider like it's not like they're a bad program. They're pretty solid, but they're not a great program. Central Florida has.
Oh no, I got it. It's an away game. It's at U Arizona.
But aren't there other away games that are?
That's why it's $51. No, all the other away games are 115,
Okay, that's what I thought.
150, even 100 for Oklahoma State, but 51 U Arizona.
But Central Florida is $100 and something.
Yeah,
that's Orlando.
Tells you how bad it is in Tucson. Oh my God. That's just sadness.
Wow,
So
wow.
I will not be attending the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice.
Why not?
I don't
We
want,
should all three go down there.
I don't want hepatitis.
Well,
just trying to avoid that. I've gone this far without the hepatitis. I'd like to go this much farther, please. Had to go down there for a track meet, and the minute the kids said, "Hey, we're done," I had to like wait for me. They were running for the truck. They were just like, "Ah!" They wanted out too. Thank God it was only there for like 45 minutes. Whew. That was a lot of time to be in.
The worst 45
Tucson.
minutes you've spent in your entire life.
No, I've been married a couple times, man. Come on. Ringless Joe says, I'll take the Lions 0. They gave me and my dad the best playoff season of our lives this last season. Closest Lions have ever been. So you don't have baseball or basketball or anything? That's it? You just only a Lions fan, Ringless Joe? Random texter says, I got into my car just as you were going to break and you were talking about the Yugo. Just so you know, they did a really great thing by putting rear window defrosters in those things. That way you can keep your hands warm when you're pushing the car. That was a long way to go for that dad joke, random texter. All right. Hey, so if your wife or girlfriend or anyone else ever gives you a hard time about sitting there watching the NBA playoffs all weekend and tuning in the Kentucky Derby and watching the NASCAR race and do it. You know, really, you say, hey, listen, you give me a pat on the back for taking care of my mental health.
What?
Because a new study in Japan found that watching sports boosts our mental health and generally makes us happier human beings. I'm taking care of me when I'm watching all these
team
sports.
I'm watching.
That's a good point. But researchers scanned people's brains while they watched various sports and found it activated reward circuits in your brain, which are linked to feelings of pleasure and happiness. They also found that people who regularly watch lots of sports have more gray matter in those areas. It means you got a bigger brain. You could change your brain structure over time. For those seeking to enhance their overall well-being, regularly watching sports can serve as an effective remedy.
So,
science.
So, watching sports is good for you.
Yes, it's good for you.
What about listening to this radio broadcast? It's about sports.
Yeah, I got no guarantees on that. Individual results may vary.
I see.
So I was feeling pretty good about that. Then I saw this. Can I just ask you a question? First off, we don't think darts is a sport. Darts, not a sport.
No.
It's a game. It's an activity, I feel like darts is the sort of activity where being male or female does not make a difference. You're a man, you're a woman, you're playing darts. You're on an equal footing.
All right.
Unless somebody can tell me otherwise or reason otherwise.
All right.
A little circle. You got a little dart.
Yes.
You throw in the dart a specified amount of distance.
Well, it's strategy too, because you've got to hit the dart within certain number points to get those points, and then if you shoot the bull,
well, Randy.
then
women can handle strategy. It's not like they're trying to park a car.
Oh.
So so they get out there and they, you throw to, like Randy says, but that's the same motion.
Points. Yeah.
A woman could play just as good as a man, I would imagine. I don't think there's a difference. So this female darts player, she British, she forfeited a match at the Denmark Open rather than to compete against a transgender opponent.
Really?
She's like, I'm not playing against that person. You got to protect women's sports.
Okay.
The darts is not women's sports. Darts is
Because
darts.
darts is not sports.
Darts is just, you know what I'm saying? Unless you can show me that men have some egregious, sort of advantage, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. I know like the World Chess Federation banned trans people from
chess. What
Chess.
the hell difference
That's
does that
that's what I'm
make?
saying. It's chess.
Right.
I don't understand.
It's brain versus brain.
I don't get it either. So some of these complaints, I like some of these. There's a conversation to be had.
Yes.
I don't understand what the conversation around darts would be. I genuinely do not get it.
Why don't you just come around and say you're against trans people? Don't sit there and say you're against the. Listen, I am on the side of fairness in these situations. If a man is going to play, say, "Oh, okay, I'm a gal now," and then wants to play against the women, it's just my thing is, well, hold on though. If you've got this testosterone going there and you're developed in a certain way, maybe there are conversations that still need to be had, and I don't think we can have those conversations intelligently if we're having conversations in a hate-filled way. And
also,
right now, if it's about darts, if it's about Scrabble or whatever, yeah, that's
video games.
Yeah, it's kind of a hate-filled way. I feel like
what?
So anyway, so yeah, I guess that's a thing now. That's a thing now. Like I said, there's a common sense way of dealing with trying to be inclusive in these things and trying to make sure that everybody's like, okay, understands and gets it. Just there's no reason to be hateful. Let's just figure this thing out in the smartest way we can figure it out. T-Licious says, you're very welcome. Oh, that's right. For the meme thing.
For the Nuggets.
Oh, yeah. The LeBron
the Nuggets
thing.
meme. Yeah.
He says, I think the Cubs World Series win in 2016 has taken the place of any other 49er Super Bowl win for me. Yeah, but we're just looking for a count. Your personal championships. I almost had one in 93. Danny Ainge wouldn't put his goddamn hands up. Wouldn't even just do this. Bruno Baller says, would you say the same thing about billiards that you do about darts as far as male, female, Jeffrey? Well, billiards? Yeah, everybody has balls. What's the problem?
Billiards is not a sport on your.
No, it's not a sport.
Okay. Yeah. So same thing applies, I'm guessing.
Is there some advantage or disadvantage for women in playing pool?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm also horrifically bad at pool. I'm the worst person to ask. I have no advantages.
Your ability or disability is irrelevant.
I'm just saying I'm not the person to ask on whether or not there are advantages or disadvantages.
Slow-Mo Zoe says, when my team loses, I don't feel too happy. Well, no, nobody does, man. Nobody does.
That's all of us.
Ringless Joe says, for the other big three sports teams, I prefer the Arizona teams. Lions are the one team where I prefer Michigan team to the Arizona one.
Okay.
Yeah, one's red, one's blue. I guess you pick your favorite color.
Sometimes your heart's there, Yeah.
Oh, hey, I've got your man of the day. This is a good one. We're not having to decide. This is a done deal. A new Popeyes location opened up in England, and the first 3 customers got free food for a year. So some guy who wants to be anonymous camped out for 17 hours just so he could win and then give that free food to the homeless shelter.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
good for him.
Good. Good.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He says, hey, I plan to eat a little bit of it here and there myself, but the homeless shelter's getting most of it. So he wants to occasionally like, hey, can I get some of that chicken?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
You want it fair and square.
He took it a couple of pieces, but then give the rest of the food to the homeless shelter. Why not?
All right. Good for him.
If you like greasy chicken, go right ahead, buddy.
I mean, if you're homeless, you're not really choosing. So
No. Well, this guy wasn't homeless. He's just giving it to him.
Yeah.
I think I got to try Popeye's chicken again. I had Popeye's chicken, I think 5-6 years ago, and it was just like, ugh. Oh. And everybody keeps still telling me how good it is. So maybe
I like it.
But maybe I got a bad batch. There's one on the corner, pretty near my house, and every time I drive by it, I'm like tempted. So Should I try it again?
I think you should, but
is it still like super greasy, like where I'm going to feel bad and have to curl up in a ball?
Probably.
I don't think it's. I don't know. I think it's fairly greasy, but like not more than fried chicken usually is. I find KFC to be like just way too much. Just maybe take some oil out, just a little.
Just wring it out.
Just a touch.
Bruno Baller says, you're right, Jeffrey. Anytime a person makes a sacrifice for the benefit of others, that is man of the day. Yeah, it's also the only one I had, so. I feel like it was a pretty good one, though. T-Licious says, okay, here's my count. 5 Super Bowls, 1 World Series, and yes, I'm claiming 3 Mercury championships. You can't. It's not one of the 4 sports, T-Licious. You can't.
You're allowed to be happy about them, but this count is not including that.
T-Lish is working way too hard on this topic. Way too hard.
There's quite a few people who are really working overtime on their list.
Look, sometimes you just gotta pour the championships in where you can find them.
Get your happiness wherever you can find that happiness. And I'll be honest with you. I don't know what Mike Holt's team is about to look like. Somebody had mentioned it looks like Mike Holt's are shaping up pretty good. Well, the Colts always shape up pretty good. My upper management is pretty good at doing the draft well, doing the offseason well. But then, plus or minus injuries, to certain O-linemen and, of course, one bonsai crazy quarterback. I don't know what we're going to get. If he's going to just put a bucket on his head and start running again, well, then it's going to be a pretty quick season for me.
You would think that the coaching staff have been talking with him.
You would think
they
talked about him doing this before the season started, Randy. They talked about whether or not he would have sense to run straight into a wood chipper. And everybody talked about it, said, well, I'm sure the coaches have got him sorted.
Yeah,
and he ran right into the wood chipper, Randy.
I mean, you would think they're going to talk to him about taking care of his body.
Right, well, no, this time we really mean it.
Well, yeah, but also
he's crazy.
I think it does help to have the off season or not even the off season, the entire season you're missing, and you're like, man, I'm not out there helping my guys. Like there are some people that hurts them more than them just physically hurting themselves. Is I am actually hurting my own team by not being out there.
Sometimes you can't help yourself. Have you ever seen Randy with a box of donut holes?
Oh yeah.
He's just like, I can't eat too many of these. And then all of a sudden, you can't stop him. He just goes
like
crazy.
I just don't want to assume what kind of guy Anthony Richardson is,
because he's that kind of guy.
We don't know if he's capable of learning from that or not.
More than 3 different times last season. But first one, hey, let that be a lesson. There's a boom. Second, all right, seriously, if you're gonna boom. Third, he has no sense of moderation.
There's no sense of moderation, but there's also just like he probably thought he was being more careful, and those guys are still bigger and faster than he gave him credit for. And you're adjusting your expectations, just maybe not fast enough.
Moist One has a text about donut holes. I don't understand it, but I'm pretty sure it's filthy.
I would bet so much money.
So I'm not reading any of that text. Not even doing that. Against the Spread says, Suns weren't even close to beating the Bulls in 93. The Bulls never even had to play a game 7 in the finals ever. By the way, what is your outlook on the Suns? First off, we'll never know now, will we? Who knows what could have been different had Danny Ainge put his goddamn hands up and at least tried to play defense, okay? I'm never letting that go against the Spread.
Yep.
So back to the outlook on the Suns. Doesn't look great. I don't know what they're going to do to maneuver their way out of this situation. So the only thing the Suns can do to get better is whatever they can do with the bench. I feel like they're stuck with Beal, Booker, and Durant another year. So it's got to be some help. Fire Frank Vogel, maybe. Trade Beal, maybe, if they can. It's just
you're trading him at a loss if you trade him.
Get a point guard. Good idea.
Yeah, but they're talking about trading this year's pick and 2031. It's just like you're digging the hole deeper if you keep going down this line. All I'm saying.
They got no draft picks and a boatload of money tied up with the big 3. It looks like their championship window has closed. Perhaps, man. Perhaps. It just depends on how they can manipulate the offseason. That's it. And I don't know even how they do that. It's It's going to be a while for the Suns are really good again. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply for licenses. See homedepot.com/license numbers.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm State School Superintendent Tom Horn. We need to improve students' proficiency in reading and math, which is my highest priority. I'm therefore providing $40 million for free one-on-one tutoring for all public and charter school students from first grade to high school, regardless of their proficiency level. And participating teachers earn money, which they deserve, for their work to improve students' learning. Sign up at azed.gov.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education. Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and the Pacers and the Knicks, I think. Didn't they just start up here? We got a current score on that game yet, or have they not started? Oh, it's 8-6. So they just started a few minutes ago. But we'll keep you up to date on whatever the hell is going on there. 888-368-1580. Moist one says, "Get your mind out of the gutter."
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. He says, "Blueberry is dirty." Yeah, I have a feeling. Whatever you were trying to do with that, even though I don't know what it is, because I'm a good boy. I'm just assuming that it's going to be dirty because it's you, Moist One.
And I just the hilarity of Moist One telling somebody else to get their mind out of the gutter is, well, it's something.
He's angry. He says Major League Eating has major in the name. Doesn't matter. It's not.
No.
It's not a sport.
No. Really not.
Just because a competitive event has major in its name doesn't make it a sport. That's not how you define
See,
what
I
a
didn't
sport
think
is.
it had a major. I thought it was competitive eating. I didn't think it like Major League Eating.
They call it that. They call it that.
Yeah,
Do they
like
really?
yeah, like there are different eating circuits.
Thought it was
and all
the
that.
competitive eating circuit.
Well, it's just giving yourself a title, you know.
Yeah, competitive eating is like overall what the thing is, but there are different
Well,
circuits.
what are
that
they?
have different-
What are they going to use as their
Randy-
logo? Are they going to have like Joey Chestnut jamming hot dogs down his throat? What are they going to use?
Yeah, a bunch of wieners in his mouth. Yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, it's like Randy, if you bought a boat and said, "I'm the captain," that doesn't really make you an actual captain. Just
Why not?
saying it
I mean,
doesn't
if
do
I-
it, and
if I
neither
bought
does
the boat.
calling, the hot dog eating contest a sport. Just because you call it that doesn't make it one.
How come you always have to be the captain? That's what I want to know. Why do you always have to be?
Well, because I
the
outrank
captain?
you.
If I buy the boat, I should be captain.
But I
should
outrank
not-
you, so I continue to. I will
Why
take
do you
command of your boat.
Why do you outrank me? I don't
You
understand
listen,
this.
You can be the rear admiral, but I'm going to be the captain.
Oh, everybody knows I'm a rear admiral.
Clearly.
Everyone. Yeah.
Ringless Joe says, Keon, at least you aren't a Dolphins fan. They haven't even won a playoff game in 24 years.
You go back and check how many playoff games the Commanders have won in that same spot. Oh, that's right. It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, but there was that Super Bowl. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I brought that up.
Lost Toby says Warriors and Giants have made up for Sharks and Niners sadness in at least this century. All right, there you go. T-Licious says, okay, official count. Oh, it is taking you forever.
T-Licious.
Jesus.
Working too hard on this problem.
Official count. 5 Super Bowls, 3 World Series. Forget about 1907 and 1908 for my Cubs. You weren't alive then.
No,
We're talking
you have
about
to be
time
alive.
span
Yeah,
championships.
no.
Your
You
lifespan.
got to be alive, and
I'm
you
glad
have to
this
be
wasn't a group
cognizant.
project.
So you can't go from like birth till about 6 years old, and then if you gravitated to the team when you were 6, then okay, if you can remember that.
Can we talk football now?
I don't know why
Please.
this assignment's so hard. I'm just not comprehending it.
This is T-Licious, if I were a teacher, would make me quit teaching.
All right, T-Licious, you know what? Close the book, listen to the show, go home tonight, do your homework. We'll see you tomorrow.
You know, we would have sent you down to a different classroom, a smaller one with less kids in it.
Short bus.
If you know what I'm saying?
Just sometimes you got the kid that it's a teacher tells them to read something and they're just dragging their finger along the words, trying to sound it out. And that teacher just has to wave the white flag and realize Johnny can't read. That's it. There's nothing you can do about that. That's where we are.
Thank you, T-Licious.
Wow.
Appreciate it though.
So, Keon, remember you saying Shedeur Sanders is going to be a pretty damn good quarterback? Yeah, you say he's a good quarterback. And I was surprised because they were saying, well, he's probably going to go first in the draft next year, right? And I was like, really? And you're like, oh, no, I've seen him play. He's really, really good. And now NFL evaluators saying, oh, no, Shedeur Sanders, he would have gone first this year had he entered the draft. He would have gone over Caleb Williams.
I think that's insane.
What?
I don't know
No way.
I don't know about that, but he was really good. He might have gone second.
This evaluator says he was QB1 for me if he came out this year. You got to manage him a little differently, and Dion's going to be heavily involved. So you got to prepare to deal with that bull crap. But I love watching that kid play. He's a born winner.
I mean, he does know how to play the position. Like he clearly understands it. Like the way that he's able to identify where people aren't going to be, where defenders won't be. It doesn't take him very long. He's able to go through progressions. He's got the mobility to extend plays, but he doesn't just take off and run. Like he's got the, all of the tools that you want from a guy who could be, a top prospect in the draft. So but I wouldn't put him above Caleb. No, I think that's crazy.
He threw 69.3% of his attempts. He completed 69.3% of his attempts.
Talking about last year? Because remember,
last year.
when he was playing for Jackson State, he was 10-2. When they went to Colorado, he won 3 games and then no games.
Well, even with winning 3 games, only at Jackson State, he won he was 70.6% of his completions and threw for 3,732 yards. At Colorado, he threw for 3,230 yards. Little drop there. He averaged 7.5 yards per catch, and he threw for 27 touchdowns, only gave up 3 interceptions, and that was at Colorado.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I wouldn't look at just the record. It's a team game, and their defense was awful. Like, they could not stop anybody.
But even with that, though, his stats were good enough.
Yeah. I mean, nearly
his stats were
70%
pretty good.
completion.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just all screens. I mean, he was throwing the ball downfield. Middle of the field.
I wouldn't say, and he's only 6'2". So
is Deion Sanders LeVar Ball now?
I wouldn't say he's LeVar Ball, but he is outspoken and heavily involved. LeVar Ball was, I think, on a different level of managing his kids' lives. I don't think that he's managing Shedeur's life to that extent. but he talks a lot. If there's something that, if Shedeur gets drafted by somebody and they're starting off slow, or he doesn't think that they're using him properly, he's a guy with a massive platform on multiple social media that can be a little bit of a headache for a team trying to navigate that.
Yeah, well, that's annoying. That is annoying. But so you think Shedeur Sanders will be the number one quarterback in the draft next year, barring some other kid coming up and just blowing up.
Yeah, just surprising everybody like Jaden Daniels last year, or Joe Burrow, the year that he went number one overall. Like, yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, he looks like the best quarterback in this class.
Can I just say something? Of course I can. This Knicks Pacers game seems very slow moving, like a lot of defense going on. Huh?
Oh yeah, I said low scoring because these are two great defensive teams, and they have two coaches that have that mentality. Like Rick Carlisle and Tom Thibodeau, they want those they want to take as many opportunities away. I mean, they coach about jumping passing lanes, playing good team defense, which means knowing when to help off of your guy and when not to. It's gonna be stingy watching these two teams play.
Stingy.
Scoring's not going to be easy.
Well,
it's a stingy game.
With 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Knicks 14, Pacers 10. So the Berg says, "Hey, Arch Manning."
Yeah. What about him?
He's not coming out next year.
Mm-hmm. He's
not even
moving.
playing next year.
He's coming along slowly.
Yeah, because he knew what he was doing. He went to a program that already had a quarterback.
Did he redshirt
wait
last
your turn?
year? Did he redshirt last year?
No,
I don't think he did. No.
Are they going to redshirt?
He came
him
into
this
a
year?
game for a minute or something.
If Quinn Ewers comes back, is he going to redshirt this year?
I don't think so.
Boy, they're missing the boat if they don't redshirt him.
Probably because the guy who was in front of Arch on the depth chart before he transferred out kind of got the idea there was no path to a starting job from him, and he was probably going to wind up behind Arch on the depth chart. So, Arch is going to be QB2.
But still, wouldn't you if you're Steve Sarkisian and you're having a cocktail by the pool at the end of the evening,
still trying to figure out how to spell your own name,
would you redshirt Arch Manning?
I just don't know how you make him QB1 over Quinn Ewers. Like, I just don't
Well, I know that. That's why I'm asking you. Do you redshirt?
No. Like, you might need him. You might need him if Quinn goes down. Don't you're gonna want Arch out there.
Well, he could still play a certain amount of snaps, right?
Yeah, a certain amount of snaps, but Quinn's a little reckless, doesn't protect himself particularly well. You might just play Arch Manning. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't do that to Quinn Ewers. I mean, if he shows up at camp and he's as good as he was last year, don't you have to start Quinn Ewers?
Yeah, I mean, he will. Quinn Ewers is going to start, but you're going to need Arch Manning to be available in the event that Quinn Ewers gets blown up in week 2, which has happened already, and can't play for a couple of weeks. So, like, that's like a real issue with Quinn, is the injury stuff. You're like Nick Saban used to say, you're one snap away from being the starter.
Yep.
Wow.
And that snap is somebody's fibula.
Yeah, could be. I mean, you'd hate to see it, and I like Quinn, so I hope not. But
snap.
Ringless Joe says Keon the Commandos actually beat the Dolphins in the wild card round in 2005, so you got that up on them.
So there's that, I guess. Before I realized how awful everything was going to be with that franchise. There.
Lost Toby says, I also got championships for my soccer team. You shut your face. It's a sport.
It's a sport, but that's just, we're talking the 4 major American sports. That one does not count.
So shut your face, Lost Toby. We were talking about the 4 majors. We weren't trying to decide if soccer was or wasn't a sport. We've already said it's a sport begrudgingly, but yeah. So shut your face.
Yeah.
I don't think you were listening there.
It's a sport we don't care about. Let's see here. We was this a new texter here. He says 8257 says, hi, longtime listener, first time texter. Love the show. Keep up the great work. It's easy to see who the genius is on this show.
It's an 801 area code. Keon, one of your people?
801?
Yeah.
No, I don't recognize 801. 301, I recognize. 801, not so much.
I'll figure it out. I mean, we just assume he's talking about you. Could be talking about Randy.
Yeah, Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the one that looks the most Mormon, so they might mean me.
could be anybody. Or none of us. I mean,
wonder who they're meaning. All right, well, hello, 8257 or something. All right, we got to take a break. We got 2 hours down. We got 1 hour to go. It's going to be all football for your ear hole. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply for licenses. See homedepot.com/license numbers.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with #HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5 o'clock or something. That's right, it's 5. It's the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. If you broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale, before the end of the last hour,
got ourselves a new texter on the line from Salt Lake City. At least that's what we think. Bruno Baller says, yeah, 801 area code. That's Utah, Salt Lake City. And the Jet says, well, obviously 801's been listening for a long time and has heard all my brilliant text coming in. And so that I am the genius they're talking about. Jet, nobody was even thinking about you. Randy,
Sorry,
pour
Jet.
me a celebratory beer. Give him a ginger ale. He gets a ginger ale.
All right.
Oh, so the new texter texts in. He says, Lost Toby goes, that's got to be the new Coyote Zone right there. I doubt that.
Hey.
But 8257 says, I was talking about the comedian of the show being the genius, Mr. O'Brien. I'm sure Rose and White are smart too, but nobody makes me laugh more than O'Brien. Good guess, though. I am from Salt Lake City, and yes, I am LDS. It seems like a setup, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This seems like a setup.
Yeah.
I mean, does it? This seems more reasonable than some of the other.
Does it?
The other. Maybe it's because of Joseph the Friendly German and Pierre from the French Canada. This actually seems more reasonable than some of the textures we've picked up in the last few months.
Yeah.
Lost Toby says, so Jeffrey has his own bots now. Yeah, it sounds like it was one of my bots. I think it must be. Wait, I don't have bots.
Jeffrey O'Brien bots.
Stand by. I don't have any bots.
I am immediately suspicious. Immediately suspicious. I mean, especially after we're sitting here listening to Keon break it down and give all this great analysis. And he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he wants jokes.
Look at the genius.
Like if you're looking for the humor here, like that's definitely you. Yeah, I'm not funny.
I don't know. I am suspicious. It's the Irish in me. We don't take compliments well. We just don't. So we're talking football, so let's pick that right back up. We were talking about Shedeur Sanders probably being the number one pick last year. Somebody said he probably could have been this year. Keon thinks that person has had their head on their keister. I think that's pretty much where we left it. So Shedeur Sanders likely to go ahead and be in the draft next year. Well, listen, we haven't even played the season yet. Let's just see what happens. Kirk Cousins. This is one of the funniest things. This report came out that Kirk Cousins, the reason he left the Vikings is because they said, hey, we want to let you know we're going to go ahead and draft the quarterback of the future. Kirk Cousins like, oh, yeah? Well, then I'm out of here. I'm going to go someplace where I know they want me. And he gets the Falcons, and what do? They draft the quarterback of the future the minute he gets there.
And they didn't draft the quarterback of the future in round 3. They drafted him in the top 10, and that is all but certain you have to play the guy at some point. That's not really up for debate anymore.
I mean, it's pretty good insurance policy. That's what Atlanta did. That's what that guy did. Now, the owner didn't understand it, and a lot of people didn't understand it. But then you have to remember, what did Kirk Cousins hurt on himself? His Achilles.
Yes. So they got the quarterback with the longest injury history in the entire draft.
They got a quarterback.
They did. And his knees are not great.
Well, he gets to sit behind Kirk Cousins and get them knees ready.
It's
it's his turn.
We'll see.
He'll have to play immediately when Kirk Cousins' Achilles goes again.
Either way, like I don't know. There are things that I think that you could work on with Michael Penix. I sure hope that there's no plan to play him immediately. If he has to, I think that's not good for whatever this plan is. He needs to develop a little bit, but also you drafted a guy who's the oldest quarterback that came off the board in the draft. He has the most injuries of anybody in the draft. Like by the time, Kirk Cousins' contract is up, he's going to be almost 30. He'll be like 28 years old. Like he's going to have to hit the ground running whenever it is that you play him. It's a very risky plan that could blow up in your face incredibly easily.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And now you have a quarterback that's no longer thrilled to be there because it seems like you weren't fully honest with him.
So what you're trying to tell everybody is the GM for the Atlanta Falcons should never work in this town again.
I mean, I don't know about that. Look, if the plan works, if Kirk Cousins is there and he's playing well, and then you're able to hand the baton to Michael Penix Jr. and there isn't a problem, you look like a genius. But it's risky enough that it's highly likely you'll look like an idiot. So I don't like the plan, but it could work. It could work. So the question of whether or not he works again is, does the plan work? I'm skeptical.
I'm skeptical of our new texter, by the way. He says, I'm from Salt Lake City, but I live in Mesa now. I work for Boeing as an engineer. Oh, Jesus Christ. I may be Mormon, but I have a sense of humor. Randy, can you pour me a root beer?
Why is that suspicious?
Well,
I don't think there's caffeine in root beer.
No, I didn't believe. I mean, I feel like this is a setup somehow, but I also, if it's real and this fellow is a Boeing engineer, how about they concentrate on the damn planes and not this show? You know, I feel like that should be your focus, not anything else. Maybe not having doors.
Maybe we're the only sort of tension relief he gets. This new texter.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for this.
Maybe we're the only ones that can make him laugh in a very difficult time. Jeffco, did you think about that?
I just, yeah, okay.
Perhaps we are his respite in the desert of anguish.
I feel like if he's been listening long enough, then we're a liability. I don't want this to come back that we're the reason. You know, the bolts. What bolts? Oh, the blender. I don't want that to be.
I don't know that that's going to happen, but
how that goes with things. He says, "Don't worry, I work in Apache helicopters, not airplanes." Because the guys in Seattle work on the planes with the doors getting blown off. All right, well, that's pretty cool. You work on the Apaches. Okay. All right, you can listen as long as you keep your eyes on your work, because I feel like the Apache helicopter work might even be more important.
Well, there's that. Yeah,
keeping some 12-year-old kid in his seat. Like, told you to leave your seatbelt on, you smart ass. That was the stewardess yelling as he flies out the plane. Yeah,
just gone, just like that.
I'm sure when that door flew off and that stewardess was probably tired of that kid's crap and just sitting there like strapped into her little seat going, come on. There goes a shirt. Come on. Damn, that seatbelt was good. Man. Beer Bob says Atlanta also had Bill Belichick down there for 2 visits and didn't hire him. So I don't know how smart Atlanta is. Been all downhill since they blew that 28-3 Super Bowl lead.
Yeah, but I mean, look, they hired a guy that's going to want less control, who's also a very, very good coach in Raheem Morris. So, you know, sometimes it's just your time to go, and Bill Belichick kind of found that out. I don't think that's like, they're not the only team that needed a coach that didn't hire Bill. So I don't know that you can put that on them.
Sometimes it's just your time to go.
Yeah, it may not be Bill's time in the NFL anymore.
Ew. Sorry. The Jet says, you guys make me release my tension all the time. Keep it up. I'm going to change your text or nickname to Crunchy Socks. I don't want to talk about the UFL because I don't think it's going to make it. Okay. I don't think it's going to make it. But there's one team that's having a lot of success with their ticket sales in St. Louis. The Battlecocks.
I'm sorry, that's the Battle Hawks.
That's what I said.
That is not what you said.
No,
Battlehawks.
Battlehawks.
That's what I said.
That's
anyway,
what you're saying
so
now that is not what you said.
They not only are 5-1, but they also they're massive crowds come like 35, 45,000, and then every game. St. Louis, Missouri is just ripe for another team. Now, they've had the Rams a couple times.
Yes.
Well,
once. I think once, but yeah.
They had the Cardinals, then they had the Rams. That's it.
Yes.
They've had teams a couple of times.
Yes.
And then they've lost those teams.
Mm-hmm.
Rams is not their fault, by the way.
Right. Cronky.
Yeah, just he wanted to go.
So,
Bastard.
If nothing else happens,
yes,
St. Louis is sitting there like, Is there a reason? Is there something wrong with St. Louis? Now I know the thing with Kroenke is the outlier. How did they lose the Cardinals? I don't remember the history of that, Randy. Should St. Louis have another football team?
Yes.
This looks like they should, but having lost 2 NFL teams in a row within 20 years? I don't know if they should have another team.
I don't think that was the issue, and I think Phoenix lured them away with the promise of a new stadium, and there was a substantial financial outlay of cash for them to come to Phoenix.
Well, you shouldn't be able to just buy people off.
Well, that's how all these franchises work. If a city has enough money, the owner can look over there and go, "Yeah, I want some of that."
So I guess St. Louis is probably one of the places they should stick a team.
Yeah, yes. If they ever talk expansion inside of the U.S., because they keep looking at elsewhere outside of the country.
But you know what? There should be a limit to how many teams you can have in a state. I hate that California has 8 NFL teams.
Well, they can support it.
But Missouri's got Kansas City Chiefs. Now you're going to get the St. Louis whatevers.
If you can support it, if those 2 cities are far enough from each other that there isn't, one team taking the oxygen out of the room from the other, then yeah, I mean, I don't see what the issue is.
50%, Jeffrey, of all Americans think Kansas City is in Kansas.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people in these United States are dumb as hell. Just really stupid.
It's really not a bad point. But still, and then you know what? Kansas City might be playing in Kansas. So there's that too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like some states are just really big and they have multiple markets that can support teams. So if you could support it, I don't really see what the problem is.
No. I just you had a couple teams already. I don't know if you take care of this one.
Make sure the St. Louis one I felt bad about because those fans were. I had a friend who was a St. Louis Rams fan, and it was killing him because they were going to pay the taxes, they were going to do everything, and it didn't matter.
Except build them a new building.
Yeah, but that's not their fault.
It is. They voted it down.
Yeah, but that's not their fault that the owner, who's a billionaire, decided I don't want to pay for my own stadium.
Well, that's
I don't know how you can put that on the fans.
Well, but the bottom line is Kroenke said, build the building or we're gone. And they said no. And he said, bye.
Yeah. Owners don't have loyalty, but I don't see how you can say well, these people don't deserve another team because.
Oh, I didn't say that. I said they did everything but build the building.
I was just answering Jeffrey's question because Jeffrey was like, these people have lost a couple teams. Should we give them another one? But I'm like, how is that their fault? They didn't. It was. I don't. It doesn't look like it was their fault either.
The community's fault. Now, I don't blame what happened, but here's the thing: if you take a step back, it's like, okay, your community may be called upon to pay the taxes to keep that team there, and if your community has a sort of a record of not doing that, well, then we shouldn't put a team there that we'd have to move again later because you guys won't do that. So you're either a community that embraces the team and works with the team. We put a tax out, you put up money. Well, at least it's an even deal. Blah blah blah. I hate the math. I hate the way they do it. I don't like taxes paying for stuff. But I'm just saying that's the cost of doing business. Yeah. So you're a community who is going to do that, or you're not going to do that. And we can't have a team there if you're not. Well, there's other places where people are even dumber and they'll do that.
I guess I just the whole format of that just sucks to me because it's not like the Atlanta Thrashers. Atlanta should not have another hockey team. I went to a Thrashers game. Nobody was at those games. They deserve to lose that hockey team potentially both times, but I wasn't there the first time. The second time, they deserve to lose them. They did. They weren't showing up to the games. They weren't supporting the team. But not wanting to have to pay taxes for a billionaire's private building that he makes money off of, that's not the same thing. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me.
So this person who says that they work on Apache helicopters, I'm still not sure if they're real. How do you know what? Sometimes can I just tell you, I've read a million texts. I don't know. I just made that up. I don't know how many texts. I've read
probably a million.
10 years worth of text. Started implementing the text line in 2014. That's when I first started doing this. And so I got a pretty good knack for reading when things are legit and when they're not, when they're bots and when they're not. It's not perfect. And I got it. Well, maybe 80-25, 82-57 is legit. But I don't know. I'm still wary. So it text in saying the Jet has a cool texter nickname, but O'Brien is the funny one on the show. I am a huge Denver Broncos fan and an Arizona Diamondbacks fan and a Utah Jazz fan. See, I don't know if this is a real person.
Why does that?
I don't think it's a computer, but
why does that throw the antenna up for you?
I don't. Just the way the sentences are formed.
Somebody's playing games with him,
and the fact that I've mentioned that several times. And this person has not addressed it since they started texting it. You know what I mean?
How many fingers does this person have? Because it's a surefire way to find out if it's AI.
Well, there's no pictures, Randy. There's no pictures.
Oh, I guess that's right, huh?
I apologize if you're legit, but I am suspicious.
How many fingers do you have?
They're not going to answer that. Like they're not going to say 18. They're not going to be honest about it.
I guess that's true.
Jonesy says, definitely not a real person.
Why?
Go ASU, says Jonesy.
I don't think that's what Jonesy said.
You're damn right. Crackalacken says, as a Seattle native, still hurts losing the Sonics. Starbucks owner sold it to out of state, knowing they'd move off if he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that owner had it in his head to go the moment he bought the team, and he just lied and said he didn't want to.
Brunswick guy says a lot of people think Oklahoma City's in Oklahoma. It's not.
Okay.
Brunswick guy just trying to prove how stupid people really are. Just another face in the crowd says you can't spell awful without the letters U, F, and L. I was the original person to make the awful joke. Just want you all to know that. Beer Bob says, speaking of Bill Belichick, did anyone watch the greatest roast of all time? What I've seen was so good. Yeah, I watched it live, Beer Bob. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. I was the only one that watched it live. And if you're in the middle of watching it, keep watching. You can talk about it later. But a couple of rough spots, but overall for 3 hours, it was really good. Yeah. T-Licious just asked the same question. Was it worth watching? Yes, it's worth watching. Maybe fast forward through Ben Affleck. I feel like that's probably the best advice because that's just weird and uncomfortable. Oh, and honestly, you could probably fast forward through Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. They did compare him to Hitler, and that was funny. That was the only funny part is when they compared Tom Brady to Hitler.
Huh.
Yeah, you have to see it. 8257 says, I'm a real person. I do understand your suspicion. Not a lot of Mormons listen to sports talk radio.
I'm not going to lie to you. That was my first thought of that could explain the wording. It's just a very polite way of saying everything.
Well, and he says, my name is Kurt. Kurt, let me just explain to you. This is not regular sports talk radio anyway. I think a lot of Mormons do listen to sports talk radio. And I think we've got more than a few Mormons listening to the show. It's more, I don't know.
How many fingers do you have, Kurt?
Anytime somebody listens to this show, they don't come at me nice. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's all.
You have said many times, though, that Mormons like your sense of humor for whatever reason.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So
Mormons have a great sense of humor, and they can laugh at themselves. They can. That is true. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, let's just get back in and talk more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The betting odds for the Boston Celtics to win this year's NBA championship improving as the Celtics will head into round number 2, where they will take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Boston plus 105 to claim the title, while the Nuggets, who trailed their series against the Minnesota Timberwolves after losing Saturday's game, are plus 480 to repeat as champions. The Timberwolves at plus 600. Anthony Edwards is averaging over 30 points per game in the postseason. The Oklahoma City Thunder plus 800. The Dallas Mavericks, who are coming off their series against the Clippers, are plus 950. The Knicks are plus 1,000 to win the title. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, don't be that dad without life insurance. Well, thanks to Ethos, you can be that great dad with life insurance to help keep his family living exactly like they do now, secure and protected in the event of the unexpected. With a fast and easy online experience, some policies as low as $1 a day and up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Just a few health questions. Ethos makes getting life insurance protection hassle-free. E for easy, E for Ethos at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older, or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer. So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Let's go.
Oh boy! Baseball season is off and running. The Diamondbacks look to defend their NL championship from last season. Will the Snakes repeat their dramatic run to the playoffs? If it's Diamondbacks baseball, we talk about it. Live and local for the Valley. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Oh. Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Booger Wolf says we should call the new texter Missile Nips. What? Yeah, I don't think so. I figure if this is a longtime listener, you'll figure out his own texter nickname. T-Bone says, speaking of doomed football leagues, what about the revised AFL? After 1 week, the team folded. After week one, a team folded. 2 teams kicked out of their Super 8 hotels. Yeah, that is getting ugly fast. And
how did you work out the TV deal and not the league?
I don't know, but I was really kind of looking forward to a new thing with the Bandits doing and this wasn't supposed to be like another XFL, UFL, whatever. This is just going to be like really the old indoor football league and stuff. So I thought that was going to be kind of fun, but I guess I don't know now. Don't know what that means for the people who are trying to get it done here. Hopefully they work it out. So that sucks. So JJ Watt
Remember I told you he looks like a third of JJ Watt now? He looks shrunk down.
Yep.
And, maybe I'm the only one that noticed that, but it just seems like the couple of times I've seen him lately, I didn't recognize him right away because he was, normal.
Skinnier?
Yeah, skinnier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he fell into a vat of Ozempic or something.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's working out for football anymore. He's just working out to stay healthy.
Yeah. Right, I know. But then he tells us, I'll tell you what, I told old DeMarco, if you need any help, give me a call. If you really get desperate, he says, don't call me unless you absolutely need it. But if you ever do call, I'll be there. And he's like basically saying, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to keep training the way I've been training. I don't think you're training the way you've been training anymore either. At least you're not eating the way you were eating because.
Well, yeah, it's hard to do, man.
Like, he looks good. He looks good. He just doesn't look all, he looks swole, as the kids say.
Yeah, just like you lose the muscle mass, and when you start losing muscle mass, you don't need to eat as many calories to maintain it. So you lose that, and then it's kind of a cycle until you get down to probably your more natural weight, the weight that most football players play at, especially guys that play on the defensive and offensive lines. It's not their natural weight. They're actually not supposed to be that size.
Yeah, don't come back. You retired. You're going to be full first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just, come on, man. Just take. I know it's hard for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, letting it go is tough. I don't even think he's thinking seriously about coming back, but just kind of having the door open makes maybe switching over to living a normal life a little easier.
Yeah, you've deflated. You've become mere mortal. Yes. It's time to. I thought he did an okay job on the football shows last year.
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
Yeah, just let it go, man. So Matt LaFleur, coach of the Green Bay Packers, I guess he keeps hurting himself. I think he's trying to lift and work out with football players, and he's overdoing it because. He tries to be more athletic. Back when 2019, he tore his Achilles playing basketball. He had to have surgery for that. And now he's wearing an immobilizer after he had to have surgery to repair a torn pectoral muscle.
Look, man.
Oh, that's
you got to know when your body is giving up on you.
He's 44. He looks young, but come on, man. You got to slow it down.
Yeah, like it's just like you play basketball a lot. There's a point where you're like, all right, time to start moving like Jokic. You just can't full tilt everywhere you go because your body can't keep up with it anymore.
Yeah, you got to start moving like Belichick because you're getting too old for that nonsense. Now, listen, good to keep active, good to work out, good to not be a fat bastard. But it doesn't mean you have to work out so hard. You tear a pectoral muscle.
Yeah.
You're trying to lift too much weight. If you don't do that on reps, you do that on weight. You're not tearing your pec because you did the right amount of reps of a lower weight. You're sitting there trying to lift like the other players, and that's not you. You're a little guy. You're a little guy. And now you got a torn pec.
You would have been playing. You were coaching. There's a reason for that.
You know, you got to get one of those total gyms, those Chuck Norris total gyms.
What?
You know what I mean? Instead of lifting weight, you get one of those total gyms.
Do the resistance.
There it is.
Is that like a thigh training master with a mustache?
No, it's not a thigh master. It's a Chuck Norris product. It's a total gym. You use your body weight, and you're only able to do things.
Gym to me.
Oh, it's a total gym.
No, it's got stuff you can do like bicep
curls,
and then you can adjust it, and then you could do like the pec flies, and you could do
get the thing
lat
up on
pull downs.
This way, and then you have like things for this, and then you got leg things, and it does everything. Yeah,
I'm suspicious.
You get one of the total gym. That's what you get.
I'll look it up, but I'm suspicious.
No, it's a
Chuck Norris is
product.
Like, give me your money. You can use my name for that. I don't care.
He didn't have his beard on in one of those commercials, and that was very off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
He what?
He didn't have his beard in one of the commercials, and I was like, that I don't like that. That's
you be
very
careful,
scary.
Keon, because if he hears you talking, he'll come down here and just whoop your ass with that
he came back.
karate jiu-jitsu thing he's got going on.
I'm getting in my car and driving away. I'm not fighting Chuck Norris.
If we suddenly see a foot appear in our YouTube
it's Chuck
feed,
Norris. Then that's who he's
kicks him in the face.
Yeah.
I might have to exit the show early, guys.
I am just
might.
cautiously suspicious of this. You know, I'm going to have to see this for myself. This Chuck Norris Total Gym thing. Speaking of suspicious, the new texter is back. Says, I wonder if you have any suggestions for texter nickname for me. I'm married. I got 3 kids and 2 dogs.
Only 3?
3 kids. So you must be a younger Mormon.
Yeah.
Or did something break? I mean, no, it's none of my business. But
is it that Peroni's thing?
Oh my God.
Sorry, man.
I don't know what to do with this guy.
And he's given us his teams already.
Ben down there.
What'd you call him?
Bend down there.
Bend down there?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
And that's what that commercial says about the PD. Is it natural
do we
to have
call
a
you
band?
Captain Carrot?
Oh, there you go.
Captain Carrot for the Peronies.
that we have not confirmed that he has, to be clear.
He's only got 3 kids.
So far.
He's only got 1 wife. Are you sure you're Mormon?
So far. Give him some time.
I don't know. We need to know more about your personality, right?
Do you drive a Ford Econo van with 15 seats?
Yeah, he doesn't need it yet.
Yeah, he's still working on it. I don't know. Let me mull this one over for a minute here. I'm going to mull that over. Navy Devil says, God walks on water. Chuck Norris swims on land. Booger Wolf says, Randy has a huge tattoo of Burt Reynolds from the movie poster of Deliverance. When has he seen you with your shirt off?
I don't know.
Justin,
I see pictures of me all the time on underwear commercials, and I'm really, really tired of these secret paparazzis snapping pics of me.
It's a damn nuisance.
It is.
Just another face in the crowd says, I've seen how Randy's Total Gym has worked for his body. Look at that pose. Look at that pose. Beer Bob says, Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants.
Oh, yeah.
He says, time waits for no man, unless that man is Chuck Norris. If you spell Chuck Norris in Scrabble, you win forever.
Yep.
Beer Bob evidently has Googled Chuck Norris sayings.
Yeah.
Well done.
When I was in high school, that was everybody had Chuck Norris jokes.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. The earth moves up and down.
Comes up to greet him. We got a text. I mean, we need more about this guy's personality. For some reason, just knowing the basics of it isn't really doing it yet. Is you want to shout out some of your text or nickname ideas, Randy?
I mean, I can, but I feel kind of bad for him. He's only got 3 kids.
He's an underachiever.
Oh, there you go. The underachiever.
Whether you're Mormon, Irish, Catholic, whatever, that's underachieving right there. Hamilton Porter says, how many years would you not be upset if the Utah Mormons win a Stanley Cup?
What?
After how many years would you not be upset if the Utah Mormons win a Stanley Cup?
After I die.
Like if suddenly the team wins the Stanley Cup as soon as they get to Salt Lake?
That would be hideous.
Choro, yes. Hockey is a sport.
It's one of the 4 major sports. We care about that one.
Big George says, I drive a Chevy Suburban. George, that's more about you than the family. That's more about a suspension that can keep you off the ground. You're 7 feet tall.
I'm surprised, George, you're not wheeling around one of those Peterbilt motorhomes.
He says, my wife drives a Subaru Forester.
There's a reason for that.
The demographic. Yeah. He says, we're going to have more kids. We just want to be responsible about it. I don't know, having all these giant babies. I don't know how responsible that is, to be honest. Because I think the Coyotes are going to win a Stanley Cup in Utah pretty soon. Well, they were on the right trajectory, but who knows? Choro says, how come 4 on 5 and you can't score? How come 4 on 5 and you can't score?
Was that a hockey game?
He says, no, because it's the only sport that says go sit down if you foul somebody. Well, it depends on what it is.
Yeah. And well, also,
Choro's drunk.
Soccer is a sport that does that, and you don't come back.
Yeah, well,
So-
there's like 18 people on the field for each team. On
But if
soccer.
it's hockey and you're saying you cross check somebody, then that's a 2-minute minor. You go sit in the penalty box. Your team is shorthanded until the 2 minutes are up.
I don't understand what your problem is with that rule. It's a good rule.
Booger
I have no
Wolf
problem with
says
that.
this guy must be Jack Mormon if he only has 3 kids. Real Mormons have 9. It's true.
Well, we don't know how old he is. Maybe he's just starting out.
Charo says soccer's not a sport. It's a sport.
Yeah.
It's not a great one. It's not one of the top 4, but it's a sport. I begrudgingly say. Like with my face looking like I just smelled a fart.
Yeah. And ate a lemon simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say simultaneously?
Yes.
Are we on schedule?
At the moment.
I was going to ask him, say schedule.
The schedule.
So there's this guy trying to make a name for himself as a football or sports insider by name
Keon Rose.
John Frischella. John Frischella.
I am not an insider.
He keeps trying to break the news, and then people start busting his balls. So I'm not sure if he's really a proper insider yet, but he's working on it. He's got like 16,500 followers.
Okay.
And I know this because he follows me on the Twitter, so I follow him back. So, I'm not a monster. And, seems like a pretty good guy, but he's, trying to become a guy, like a Ian Schefter or an inside guy. He's hitting some resistance from some people. So he'll give you a news thing, and then all of a sudden in the comments, he's fighting everybody.
Sure.
He hasn't learned. Put it up there. Don't respond to anything anyone says.
Just mute it.
Just put it up there.
Tweet it and mute it.
And be done. And so I think he's reputable. I feel like this guy is reputable. But if he's not, then, I apologize. But John Frischella, he put a thing up there. It says, breaking news. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow's wrist will never be the same. Per discussion with my Cincinnati source this morning. Joe's surgery in LA was not to fix his injury, but to make sure the bone grows correctly. Joe will always be at risk of injury because his bone has to grow back, and that could take 2 years. His playing will all be off of risk. So we kind of knew that. So I don't know why anybody would argue with that. But then the comments, dear God, the comments. So, of course, Cincinnati Bengals fans are like, shut up, man. You're not. But that sounds reasonable.
I mean, I guess.
And also not breaking news.
I just don't know where he got this information from, because I haven't heard that from anywhere else.
His Cincinnati source.
Okay.
Cincinnati source.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow was out there throwing today, and he looked pretty damn good to me.
Yes, that's the next story I saw right after reading this. But see, that nobody says he's not going to look good today.
Yeah.
He's saying that his wrist is fragile as hell, and always going to be risk of injury. If he even hits the guy's helmet, that could be the end of him. Because they say it would take 2 years to grow everything back and make his bone be what it needs to be.
I mean, it's not great if that's true. That just seems like very specific HIPAA violating material there that you're putting out into the world.
I feel like he should
like
learn to play with the other one. Just learn to play with the other hand.
Oh, just go lefty?
Yeah.
Go left-handed?
Yeah. He's supposed to be good.
Yeah, but that's a different level of. That's not even a different level of good. That's just if you're right hand dominant, you're right hand dominant.
Okay, I think this guy is legit now. This Mormon fellow. He just texted in, "Hey, how about you call me the Latter-day Stud Muffin?" Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
All right.
That's so corny.
Okay.
It must be. He said, or Mormon assassin.
Mormon.
So does that mean
Mormon
you're
assassin?
Are you the Mormon that assassinates, or are you a guy that assassinates Mormons?
Which would make you also kind of a traitor. Just
wow.
Because then you'd
Well,
be a
either
Mormon
way-
assassinating Mormons.
You're a murderer.
Yeah.
Probably want to not do the assassin part.
No.
Probably.
It's
I'm
a
never
bit
ever
unclear.
going to call you later day stud muffin.
No.
We're workshopping this. We're getting there, but I'm starting to believe more now that he is real. Just from that suggestion right there. Booger Wolf says, okay, since this guy works in the Apache helicopters, we could call him the Swarmin' Mormon. Swarmin'
That's
Mormon.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Or the Stormin' Mormon. Stormin' Mormon, I think, because remember the guy from Desert Storm? Stormin'
yeah.
Norman? Call
Yeah,
him the
Schwarzkopf.
Stormin'
Yeah.
the Stormin' Mormon. I think that fits the Apache helicopter.
Yeah.
Stormin'
guy.
Mormon says.
I like that. Booger Wolf actually was helpful. We'll see
Good
what
job,
this
Booger Wolf.
former 10-speed riding Mormon. I'm sure he's been on. a
Oh
mission.
boy.
Did you do the 10-speed thing, Mormon guy?
Where'd you go on your
Why don't we
trip?
just call him Mormon guy? Mormon guy says.
Mormon guys is also fun.
I like
Yeah.
Mormon guy. Okay, you're either a Stormin' Mormon or Mormon guy.
You got a cool option and you got a funny option.
Either
Why
way
don't you
works.
call him the tie?
The tie.
The tie. Because he wears a tie
Yeah.
when he was on his
his bicycle tie.
his bicycle thing.
Yeah.
The tie says.
No, I think we're good with Stormin' Mormon or the Mormon guy. I like
All right.
that. So,
All right.
all right, let's take a break. We come back. We got on this date and big Georgia sports history and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Doug. To celebrate everyone who's customized and saved hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, we got a savings siren that goes off every time someone saves. There it is. It's a really more savings, which really, okay, a lot of savings. Little annoying now. Will you stop saving for 5 seconds?
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply for licenses. See homedepot.com/license numbers.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
All right, stay in Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We have another new texter who says, "Hi, I'm LDD and listen to the show. I just don't text in, but Mormons do listen to the show. It's a guilty pleasure." For LDD, is that like an offshoot of LDS, or is it just because the D is next to the S on the keyboard? Well, whatever it is, thanks for listening.
Latter-day Dads.
Thanks for listening, my latter-day guilty pleasure man or gal. I don't know. Anyway, 8257 says, "Okay, Mormon guy it is." He says, "Thanks, gents. And yes, I had the 10-speed bike. I did my mission in Munich, Germany."
Oh, no kidding.
Well,
Huh?
how do you say in German, everybody get down, they're back at the door again? Bing, boom. Down. Shh, they'll go very soon. I mean, them Germans are pretty good at the military crawl. I mean, I think they could go all the way from the kitchen through the bedroom to the basement without even getting seen.
And I thought all they could do was the goose step.
Sure. Oh, no. There's a lot more to it. Oh, yeah. He says, "Yeah, sorry, I meant to say LDS." Yeah, like LDD is like an offshoot or something. Latter-day Dudes. Surfing Mormons, the Latter-day Dudes.
Dude.
All right, let me tell you about which planet. Okay. Oh, that would have been a good name. Just another face in the crowd. The Mormon Multiplier. That's not bad. Hey, maybe our other new Mormon listener there would like to be Mormon Multiplier. Big George says, "Man, yeah, that Suburban, I put 275,000 miles in that bad boy. Drove the Honda Accord from high school until 7 years ago." Oh, you're talking about the Honda Accord. Oh, those things last forever. Those things are amazing. Honda Accords. That's what I tell everybody when they're a kid. Get a Honda. Get a Honda Accord or a Honda Civic. It will never be pretty, but it will always work. And then when you grow up and you're like, okay, now it's time for another car, you can do that. But man, bulletproof. You know what was also bulletproof was the engine in the my old Jeep Cherokee. That was bulletproof. About the same amount of miles on that engine. If you take care of it, it'll last even longer. But well, I kind of abused it. Up in the hills. So.
I had a Nissan pickup I loved. It had the Z24 4-cylinder engine in it, and I had 174,000 miles in that baby, and it was still top notch when it got stolen.
Oh, Mormon guy says, "Und versteck die schnell die Mormon stehen wieder vor die Tür."
Are you sure that last part there was?
I am not sure of any of my pronunciation. I can pretend German way better than I can try to read real German. And the translator says what he said was, "Hide quickly, the Mormons are at the door again." Well, at least I have the actual the writing. I do have that. President Wallet says, "I wonder if Germans hide in the attic." Okay, we're going to stop you right there.
just not going there. just not going there. We're just not going.
He says, because there was this one time. Okay, that's just ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1954, British long-distance runner Roger Bannister completed a mile run at a time of 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds at Iffley Road Track at Oxford University, accomplishing the first mile ever to be run in less than 4 minutes. Bannister had attained this record with minimal training while practicing as a junior doctor. He went on to become a successful neurologist. Yeah, they asked him, it's like, "Hey, was that 4-minute mile your biggest achievement ever?" And he's like, no, the research in the brain that was probably a much better achievement. I'm more proud of that, all the different responses of the nervous system. And then he died in 2018 at the age of 88. And so you're thinking, all right, so this was back in 1954, 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. And you're thinking, well, somebody's got to really have just destroyed that by now because, Kenyans. And turns out they're distance runners because the fastest mile for a man right now currently is actually a Moroccan.
by the name of Hitcham El Guruju. 3 minutes, 43 seconds, 0.13. So, he got it under 4 minutes in 1954, and since then we've only taken 16 seconds off the time. So, Rogers Bannister, just almost as fast as the guy who was really trying back in 1999 in Rome. So
they made a movie out of that Bannister mile.
Oh, really? What's it called?
Yeah. That's I can't think of the movie right now, but it's the dun 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 dun. That song,
Chariots of Fire.
Chariots of Fire. That was Roger.
Is based
Bannister.
on that dude.
Yep.
I thought that guy was I thought the Chariots of Fire was a long distance run thing.
He is. Yeah.
So that was part of it. He ran the fastest mile, and then
I believe so. Yeah. It's a story of the Roger Bannister, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, what the hell happens in the movie?
I think it's Eric Liddell.
Oh, never mind.
The guy with the pillows?
Eric Liddell.
No, that's Mike Lindell.
Oh.
That's Mike Lindell.
This is Eric Liddell.
That's the guy who doesn't read the box and puts the hair dye on his eyebrows, right? That's the pillow guy. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put the hair dye on your eyebrows and your mustache. It's just somebody should talk to him. But you're saying it was a different guy in the Chariots of Fire, not Roger Bannister.
I thought the Roger Bannister, there was a movie made after
him. Maybe
the Minutemans. I don't know.
4 Minute was. Anyway,
there is a movie called The 4 Minute Mile.
So they're like, yeah, Roger Bannister gets it done in under 4 minutes. And he says, tell me about it, says his wife. Just that's me. I'm doing a little soft shoe over here. But I like it.
Oh, man.
Tell me about it, says his wife. Whatever happens, that was the funniest thing that I remember about today. Hamilton Porter says, yeah, worse with the dye, my pillow guy or Rudy Giuliani. Oh, yeah. Both. But I'd say they're about equal. Giuliani, when his face started to melt. That was a great day. That was fun. And it's not about politics. I don't care. I don't care which side of the aisle it is. If your face starts to melt, I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Unless you're Nancy Pelosi and you pay for it not to.
Yeah.
And yet it still does.
To varying degrees of success. I didn't say it was working.
That is probably the most unsearched Pornhub search is Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, boy.
Because you'll have a psychological barrier. Your body just won't let you type those words into a computer.
Wow.
You're weeping by the time you get to PEL. You're like, Nancy Pelosi, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Like, just not even as a joke. Your body will not let you do it.
Oh, my God.
It's a mental block that everyone has.
And then if you get close to finishing it, then Google just, what the hell are you doing? Just stops you. Hey, I'm going to stop you right there. You don't want that in your Google search. I don't want that on my search. We're not doing that for you.
Google interrupts you and says, let us help you.
Yeah.
You start to get ads for BetterHelp.
Your computer just turns off.
You might need to see a therapist.
Google says no. Are
you okay? You need to talk to somebody. No, you do need to talk to somebody. We're actually not asking.
You turn the computer on. You try again. They're like, you need Bing. We're not doing this.
Try Bing.
And Bing doesn't search for what you're looking for anyway. So that's
just another face in the crowd says Jeffrey's doing soft shoe. Who says white guys can't dance? Anyone who's seen me.
Yep.
Just. Why isn't this show over yet?
We're still waiting.
We got a couple of minutes left.
Yep. I could just play some film music until we're out.
Something I can soft shoe to?
Yeah, we could just listen to waves on the way out if you want.
Oh, that's comforting. We won't. Yeah, there's no copyrights on the waves.
No, it's just an ocean I recorded. So
Hamilton Porter says white men can't jump either. Just don't watch the remake. I could jump. I don't know how well I could jump now, but man, when I was younger, I could. From a standing position, I could jump up and grab the rim.
No, he could. Yeah.
And
I will attest to that.
Now I would hang there, not to be cool, but because like, oh,
That's
my
a long
shin
way
splints.
down.
Yeah, if I land, my shin splints. They're gonna go.
My knees will explode.
I have made a mistake. Somebody
This is
come
it.
get me. You got a ladder in your truck? No.
Randy, get the ladder.
Just pull the car over. Pull the car over. I'll step into the back of the truck if you can get it over here. Just oh crap. I don't know. The up part I might still have. I don't know about the down. Cardinal Art says hi. Cardinal Art says, can I have a beer and a shot and a wind forecast?
A wind forecast. Here's a beer for you.
Do it under 4 minutes.
And,
Robert Bannister.
It's going to be windy. Now back to you, Jeff. Go.
Very windy. Hamlin Porter says, did you guys see the remake? Your retinas will burn. I will never watch the remake of that.
Because I like the original a lot, so I didn't see the point in watching the remake.
That wind is very loud.
No, this is waves.
Oh,
right here.
them
We're in
waves
the
is very
ocean.
loud.
Yeah.
It's like the static that most people prefer to listen to than this show.
Isn't that nice?
Are you trying to calm me down?
Oh yeah.
We gotta go now. We gotta go.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, we're leaving now. Everybody just turn off your radio. Nothing on after this worth it. Just go ahead, turn it off. See you guys tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to